Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Who's got the echo going?
Probably you.
Definitely not me.
Your camera.
I don't hear it now. I heard it at the open. Did you hear that, Jake?
Yeah, I think it might have been me, but we cleaned it up.
I love that accountability.
Just super honest right out of the gate. That's how we like to start 2025.
Yeah. Love the accountability out of you, Jake. It's the 2025 MLB predictions pod. It's the episode that many people look forward to every single year. People look forward to it every year. I know I do. Because if there's one thing that I love in this world that never gets old, it's being right. I fucking love being right. And I'm right all the time. So this is my opportunity to add on to my legacy as someone that is just right all the time.
Wow.
All the time. I will say last year's predictions pod, I'll give credit to Jay Hay. The Guardians pick, that one, it was on the tip of my tongue because I think last year I had a few things that I picked that I had written down that by the time we came to have to like verbally make the pick on the show, they didn't quite make it out of my mouth, but they were on paper. Like I went back and used the template from last year and I had Stephen Vogt as American League Manager of the Year. I did not pick Stephen Vogt. Should have stuck with it. Should have believed in the guards. Didn't do it. I also had Mookie Betts as the National League MVP, which, again, I didn't stick with the pick. He didn't end up winning, but just because I wrote it down right here does not mean that by the time it's time to put up or shut up and make these picks on the pod, doesn't mean they're going to make it to the pod. So gotta have conviction, Dallas.
That you're being, do you want to start this over? Those are two examples of you being wrong. Feeling so good about being right. Those are two examples of you being wrong.
I'm trying to give credit to Jay Hay for being the only person to go with the guards in the Central. Like no one else here believed in the guards.
No, I
really appreciate you starting that off with on the right foot because I think that's credit where it's deserved. And yeah, we'll see how it goes this year. But thank you.
Yeah, we will see how it goes. Yeah, no problem. Very excited for our relationship with Underdog to continue in 2025 because we've got some picks that we're going to be rolling out on opening day. We're going to be streaming live from St. Louis at where the fuck is it, Jake?
It's called The Pitch.
The Pitch. We'll be streaming live from The Pitch. I believe we're trying to start by 4 p.m. Those 4 p.m. games, obviously the Sox and whatever games are cooking, we'll be watching them and we'll be throwing our underdog picks out there for you guys. Also, this pot that the dog is putting up for the longest home run. We've Jay, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. We've all selected. We were all locked in on our selections for opening day, longest home run.
We have all made selections.
Okay. Opening day is finally here and baseball is back. Underdog is celebrating by putting up a pot of 500 racks. Shout out to Milky. He's trying to scheme his way to 100 racks. You guys can end up with 500 racks for the longest home run. Make your selection. Just look for the split the pot promo in your lobby on the app. Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Apply it to the player that you think hits the longest home run on opening day. You can choose from any of their stats, not just the home runs. But if you pick the player that hits the longest home run on opening day, you and whoever else took that player will split the 500K, even if your pick doesn't hit. All right, so we've locked in our picks for this. I believe I said it already publicly, but I'm going with Yordan Alvarez. That's my pick. Justin Havens, who are you picking?
Vlad Jr.
Ooh, that's a good pick. I believe Dallas is going Eladella. No, O'Neal Cruz, right?
No.
Who are you going with?
The Law Dog.
Oh, Lawrence Butler. Okay, so he's a flip-flopper. Got it. Don't let anyone in Bucko land hear that, because I believe he did say O'Neal Cruz originally, but now he's going with the Law Dog.
Thought about O'Neal Cruz. I thought we kicked that around.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Jake, are you making a pick for this split the pot?
Coley and I are tag team in this one. We're going Trevor Story.
Trevor Story. Okay. I like that. I like that pick. Here's the deal, though. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Very excited to see who ends up. I hope it's a BID listener. If it's not one of us, I hope it's one of the listeners. I hope we get to split the pot with some of the listeners. Someone's like, oh my God, like Jared's the smartest baseball guy out there. So that's why I picked Yordan Alvarez. And now him and we get to split 500 racks. Like, that's sick. We'll just get to split that pot. I'm not going to be selfish because, I mean, some people were like, why would you say your pick publicly? Because obviously everyone's going to take your pick because you're the smartest guy on the podcast. And I said, because I hope that I get to split the pot with the BID faithful. I hope we win and I get to split the pot with people. And they're like, I only picked Yordan Alvarez because you're the smartest guy on the podcast. So listen, I'm excited. Dallas, you have something to add?
Yeah. The only way that you and the listeners agree is that they are as smart as you. And if that's the case, then I have no fear about you guys winning. Yeah, that's all.
I'm not gonna sit here and doubt that your pick could be the one to win. I mean, it's a good pick. It's just not the best pick. That's fine.
It's the winner is what it is.
And it is going to be an evening. And this is a special evening of Baseball is Dead. It is 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday evening. Special start time for the MLB predictions pod here on Baseball is Dead. There will be a multitude of selections being made throughout the panel. Very excited to share mine because I think I got all of them correct. You can agree or disagree. It's fine. It's fine. But I will defer to you, Dallas. Where do you want to start? Would you like to start with the awards? Would you like to start with the division winners and wild card teams? Would you like to go AL, NL? Would you like to go award by award, all AL and then all NL? How would you like to divvy this up?
I think if we're going to go awards, I think we should bounce back and forth. So AL, AL MVP, NL MVP. AL
okay, so you want to start from the top or the bottom? Would you like to start with comeback player of the year, or would you like to start with MVP and work our way down?
Oh, is comeback player of the year? Was comeback player on the year on the thing?
Every year.
I didn't include that on the list. So Dallas.
Oh, so this is a nerd error. But yeah, we usually do comeback player of the year every year.
I think I forget that every year, and then I just name somebody.
That's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's like that's what we're
going to continue the tradition.
Yeah. Comeback player of the year, manager of the year, rookie of the year, Cy Young, MVP.
See, I'm just like, I guess we go awards. I mean, because then what I think you maybe do is that setting the tone, maybe giving you a little foresight into, hey,
some
this is maybe where the picks could go.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good call.
You never know.
Good call. All right. So let's start with the very well prepared comeback player of the year. We've all got one. We've all thought about this. We've all done our research and compared notes, contrasted the comeback candidates, so to speak. And, why don't we start with Justin Havens? This is someone that, he's definitely not a hater. Like, when I think of comeback player of the year, I think of someone that needs to overcome adversity. And I immediately think of Justin Havens, who is just the beacon of hope, the guy that is always rooting for people to succeed. So the comeback player of the year that you have in the American League and the National League, Justin Havens.
All right. My NL answer is Sandy Alcantara.
Okay. Good pick.
Thank you. I think all of the indicators for him are trending, if not back to a Cy Young level, then at least you're getting indications that he's going to be back to a very high level. And I think it's also been suggested that he's not necessarily going to be under the sort of typical innings limit threshold that a guy coming back from Tommy John in his first season might be under, because all indications are that the Marlins are looking to trade him and the acquiring team would be looking for him to contribute down the stretch. I think we're going to get something resembling a full season of Sandy Alcantara, 150 to 160 type of innings with an ERA in the mid threes. And I think that's going to be enough fronting the Marlins rotation for the time being and being at or near the top of a contending team's rotation to bring home the award.
I mean, it's a great pick. I would, without looking at the odds, I would imagine he is somewhere near the top favorites wise. It's a great pick for a reason. This guy has a Cy Young in his trophy case.
Well,
Dallas, do you agree? Well, go ahead.
Sorry, the one thing I wanted to add too is like,
Please.
Spring training, it seems like his velocity is back. Like this isn't like 100% based on speculation. He does seem healthy based on the velocity reading since he's been back. So I think there's merit to the idea that he'll be returning with a little bit less rust than maybe you typically see.
Mm-hmm. Dallas Braden, do you agree or do you disagree with Justin Havens on the National League Comeback Player of the Year?
It's a great place to start. It's for sure a great place to start. I think he outlined several of the reasons why. I think we all know that Ronald Acuna Jr. will be the NL Comeback Player of the Year. And I think it's for good reason because you already understand what kind of a player this is when healthy. So if it means him settling in somewhere between the stolen base and the home run median and creating a perfect little, I don't know, consistent 30 to 40 type season year in and year out because he's going to be healthy, then yeah, I think it's an easy, some might call it chalk, I don't care because it's right, pick for NL Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, this is interesting because we all have a different player for Comeback Player of the Year. Dallas, right team. Right. You were very close. Yeah, right team.
You go on the
wrong
mound?
player. Yeah, we're going to go Spencer Strider for National League Comeback Player of the Year. This is a guy that a lot of us had chosen for Cy Young in recent years, and he's battling his way back from injury. So quads the size of
Quadzilla, baby.
Yeah, pig torsos is what some people are saying.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
a
lot of people were saying that in Seattle at the All-Star game. Yeah. So I've got Spencer Strider as the National League Comeback Player of the Year. Feels good to be 1 for 1 with these picks. American League Comeback Player of the Year. Have you had any time to sink your teeth into this, Dallas Braden?
Yeah, I have. And I think, you know what? I think if the Red Sox are going to have any say in their postseason aspirations, they're going to need to look on the mound, aren't they? How about Liam? You like Liam? I like Liam.
I think it's a great pick. I think it's a great pick. I think you're off to a horrendous start that he didn't win the closer's job in spring training, but I mean, it's hard to not root for Liam as Comeback Player of the Year. But
look, and here's the reason why that just doesn't matter at all to me, because I was in the parking lot with Liam when he got DFA'd, and he was like, I was like, so I'll probably see you in like a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and he was like, yep, that's about right, and unfazed by the hurdles that life has thrown him, and he continues to clear them by any measure of an elite competitor. And so that's why for me, it's an easy selection. He very well may have. Yeah, did he win it?
I'm going to look that up. I want to say maybe he did. Let's see. He did in 2023. Why did I say that way? Yeah, for the White Sox. But he came back from cancer. This is different. He's coming back from elbow surgery. Another massive setback. I mean, because if you don't like that, there's a fellow out in Cleveland who I do really like. Just as long as, I mean, if he's on the mound, he's got great odds. That's Shane Bieber. You can't have 2 picks, you fucking asshole.
Well, maybe
that's a good point. You can't.
Yeah, your pick is Liam Hendricks. My pick for American League Comeback Player of the Year is Shane Bieber.
There you go.
That's why.
Yeah, Slab Lab alum. Very excited for the season that he's about to embark on. Dallas, what was he saying about the velocity when you guys were talking in the Slab Lab?
Well, it's a matter of just how everything feels coming out of the hand right now, and he's been a big fan of how things feel, and he's not necessarily concerned about where the velocity is at. The results, as far as what he's seeing, what he's feeling, are what you care about at this moment, knocking the rust off. So I have no doubt that as he continues to feel it cleaner and cleaner out of the hand, because I mean that was our cat session back in February. Like the dude is going to be right where he needs to be.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, where are you at? I feel like we had a chance to link up on this, but I feel like we're not going to.
No, we're not. I would love to see Bieber produce a comeback player of the year worthy half season. And I think that's my concern, is that we're only going to see Shane Bieber for, maybe half the season. Obviously, he's shown he's capable of delivering a full season's worth of value in a half season's worth of time. But I think you guys have cute answers.
Oh, wow.
But, for being such a hater over here, as you guys claimed, I think the answer's been right there in front of us all off season. And it's been a guy
this
we've
answer is going to piss me off, I think.
Spent a lot of time talking about. And the answer for comeback player of the year, Mike Trout.
Oh.
I mean,
that is cute.
It's not
I mean,
cute.
how many times, how many
Right
fucking
fielder
times
Mike
can we
Trout.
pick Mike Trout for this award
I
before
think,
he's just ineligible?
but here's the great thing about Mike Trout is that he doesn't have to play 650 or 700 plate appearances to be the best candidate for this award come the end of the season, because his floor obviously is much, much higher than the floor for basically every other player that we're talking about for this award, except for one guy that we haven't mentioned who deserves
Jacob deGrom?
Is Jacob deGrom, who I think would also be a very excellent candidate for this award. Do you think he's going to be on the mound more, or do you think Mike Trout's going to be playing baseball more? And I'm not sure I feel this way, but I feel like I just feel like Mike Trout's path to a 4-win season is right there for him with 125 games played.
Wow, it's a low bar.
But it's comeback player of the year. Like,
Yeah.
think about the value that Bieber or Liam Hendricks, who are also fine candidates, would have to produce to be at a Mike Trout, even a diminished Mike Trout level.
Well, I don't.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't
if you're
think
going to
that,
just look at it purely statistically, then maybe. But if you're thinking about like
Narrative and
impact
stuff?
within their
Yeah.
team, like the merit of, yes, absolutely, the merit of the body
For
of
sure,
work,
which
like
is
what
part
does
of
it
the
mean?
which
And
is
that's
part of the award for sure.
that's exactly why I went with Liam, is because Jared, who cares that he's not start or closing games right now? The warrior, the competitor inside of that man leads me to believe that when the dust is settled, if the
He
Red
could
Sox
be.
are where they hope to be, there's going to be
he's the guy.
he's going to have something to say about it.
Yeah, I don't rule that out at all. Yeah, I don't rule that out at all. Manager of the year. Don't make a mistake this time around. I will say manager of the year tends to favor the new guy. There's a lot of this guy had a good year and he's been in the league for a year or two. Seems like tenure. It's almost a detriment to have tenure when they vote on this award. But I'm going to say tenure be damned, because the two guys that I voted for, they've been at their posts for a little bit. One of which has already won the award. I will say that. And another thing about the manager of the year, they don't like to give this thing out to the same guy twice. It's very rare. Usually if you look up in history of the manager of the year awards, it's like even the best of the best managers is like, so-and-so won manager of the year in 1993 and then again in 2006. It's like they wait like a whole fucking managerial life cycle before giving the guy the same award twice. But that being said, my manager of the year in the National League is going to none other than the skipper of the D-backs, Torey Lovello. Yeah.
Torey Lovello.
And you'll see why.
Oh, is it? See, this is.
Oh my gosh. I hope you went there.
Oh.
I hope you did it, you dirty dog.
Torey Lovello.
Is that where you were going, Jay? Hey, is that a name that you kicked around potentially?
I mean, I'm pretty optimistic on the Diamondbacks. Maybe not as optimistic as old boy over there, given what he just hinted at. But he was not among my central candidates for this award that I considered. I have to say that. A lot of respect for his managerial prowess, of course, but was not one of my final two guys.
Okay.
So Jared's wrong. You're not going to be right either. But who did you have for NL Manager of the Year?
Well, I think it's going to be an image rehabilitation season for a guy whose first year in a new place got off to a little bit of a rough start.
Wow.
Paid $40 million to bring over Craig Counsell from Milwaukee.
Gonna buy his way to this award.
Milwaukee went on to win the division with Pat Murphy by 10 games, and the Cubs disappointed. I think it's going to be a little bit of the Brewers are not quite as good as last year, and a little bit of the Cubs are better than they were last year. And I think in a league that doesn't have, I don't think, a lot of compelling narrative candidates for this award, I think the Cubs winning the NL Central will be enough for Craig Counsell to win it. And I think the Cubs will win the NL Central, as we'll get to it.
I think I picked Counsell last year, which is why I didn't consider him again this year.
That's fair. I would feel very burned by that experience. So I think you're perfectly reasonable to move on.
Yeah, that did impact my decision making in 2025, I will admit.
Oh, Murph doing work. That's tough. Well, those are both definitely picks. Those are definitely picks. But they are not the right pick, because the right pick would be Rob Thompson. That was my runner-up. That is going to be the NL Manager of the Year for the work he and the Fightins are going to do. That's going to be fun to watch, especially on the back of those fucking stallions. He's going to be trotting out in that rotation. Rob Thompson, step on up and get your award.
Can we talk about that one for just a second?
Please, let's do.
Because that was the guy I had, and I crossed them off with Counsell, whatever. I just sort of I kept going back to what do the Phillies have to accomplish for Rob Thompson to get the credit that would vault him to Manager of the Year, not just, he did a good job. You know what I mean? And that was my hesitation. I mean, it's probably a similar, I guess it's win the division and win 95 plus games, but I don't know. I guess that was just my hesitation.
No.
There's
don't hesitate, Jay. Hey, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Why hesitate right now? Why hesitate right now? Because the offense is going to provide the punch. Feel like the offense is going to do what they are more than capable of doing. They've still got, I love the meat and potatoes of that part of the lineup. Who knows what, Castellanos, I'd love to see him. The rotation is what for me is going to make the biggest impact that I don't know people are necessary. Like Christopher Sanchez, give me the Lesty. I got this dude having a phenomenal year. The bullpen, they've got great arms coming out of the bullpen. I think if Jordan Romano can get back to even just what a shade of, I like what the Phillies have going, but it's going to take Rob Thompson pressing the right buttons at the right time. I think to your point, Jay, making some of those decisions that really make him a clear-cut candidate, and I'm excited for that to happen.
Could be a big year in Delco.
Could be. Okay. All right. That's our Manager of the Year.
No, the American League Manager of the Year.
Yep. Well, you guys want?
Can I go first on this one?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sure.
Because I just want to make sure I get in real fast here. Because it's my manager.
Again.
It's Alex Cora.
Oh, Alex Cora.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep. I think AC is going to get credit for what I've. It's no secret. I've already picked the Red Sox to win the division. So if they're going to win the division, it would follow that Alex Cora would get some credit in the Manager of the Year conversation, because they are not the favorite to win the division. And so that's where my head led me. And of course, AC, friend of the pod, friend of Section 10, a little bit of an emotional pull as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's a great pick, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
It's a very nice pick. Yep. Jared, how nice is your pick?
You want to know who my pick for American League Manager of the Year is, Dallas?
You got a nice pick over there?
I like my pick a lot.
Show me your pick. Hey, don't shoot. No. Buddy. Oh, buddy. Come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down.
I got
I like the way this is shaping up. I like the way this is shaping up.
Mark Kotze is my American League manager of the year.
Jared?
Yeah, nice little
That's
precursor to what I think's going down later this year. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I bet. And you know what, Jared? That is your pick for manager of the year. That is my manager of the year.
Wow.
That is my manager of the year, Mark Kotze. All the talk about the young studs, all the talk about the extension season started with Kotz, and it has come and it is here. As the man said, Lawrence Butler, the new wave is here. And he said that years ago. How did that wave start? Well, it started with a ripple by the name of Mark Kotze. And now we are once again riding that wave. And it's all because of Mark Kotze.
You should go by that, the ripple.
Mm.
I've never
He
given
is the
anybody
ripple.
else credit for a manager of the year prediction, but I have to say, I really like it from both of you.
Yeah.
I can see how like the whole Sacramento thing and like not really having a home or whatever. Like
Hey,
I can see
hey,
how that narrative
hey,
might
hey.
build, and the masthead, the manager might start to get a whole lot of credit for guiding a ship that not many people have expectations for the A's this year. And I think there's reason
Hey,
I got
maybe that
big
you guys
ones.
are going to get into for
Yeah.
why they could be sneaky good. So, or
Mhm.
sneaky 500-ish,
And-
or sneaky
I'll-
78 wins, or whatever it is.
I'll say they hire. I'll say this. Gonna take the hire. Everybody, and I am not fluffing this at all. Everybody that we've talked to during spring training, everyone that I've talked to during the slab has all been like, yo, is Mike off? You boys are gonna bang. Like I feel like you boys are gonna surprise the fuck out of some people. And I'm just sitting there going, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. So very excited about
Mm. Here we go.
it. Very excited. So there we go. Mark Kotze, your AL manager of the year. Where does that take us, Jared?
Takes us to National League Rookie of the Year.
Heyo.
Yeah. My pick, I just got to meet in person. Yeah. Just got to meet him. We just shot a commercial together, which I imagine would be airing very soon. The National League Rookie of the Year, that'll be Dylan Cruz. Yeah.
Dylan Cruz.
Dylan Cruz. Yep.
Mm.
Shot a commercial
So-
with Dylan Cruz and James Wood. And Dylan Cruz is going to be taking home that National League Rookie of the Year honor this year.
So industry plant Jared Carabas has told us that they're basically petitioning to buy this award for Dylan Cruz. Is that what's happening?
I think it was more so like, hey, we think that this guy's going to win the Rookie of the Year. Like, let's get him in some content with the Rocket, have him rub off that star power. If we can make him a household name this year prior to leading up to the Rookie of the Year award, then maybe this can be the launching of a new ship,
Well,
so to speak.
I mean, he is slated comfortably to take, should things go well, 600 plate appearances, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like either way you slice it, that's a big contributing factor on top of the fact that he's really, really good at baseball.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, you put those two together, just simple opportunity and productivity. Yeah, I don't know that the Nats have any, big aspirations as a club, but outside of
They're getting there.
that, well, and him and Woody are a huge part of that. Absolutely.
Oh, big time.
No doubt.
They are
So,
slowly creeping up in terms of, hey, we're kind of ready to not necessarily go for it, but add on,
Mhm.
slow build.
Mhm.
They're
Yep.
getting there.
Yep.
Is anyone else joining me on the Cruise campaign?
nah, dog.
Okay.
Oh, I very much am.
Oh, welcome,
Oh.
Justin Havens.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
a few things I'd like to add.
Please.
I think his debut last season has made people forget, like, this is the number 2 overall draft pick who was a legitimate candidate to go number 1 overall in the Paul Skeens draft. That's the level of talent that we're talking about. And I think while his triple slash line was underwhelming, his underlying stats were a lot more encouraging than that. His strikeout rate, how hard he was hitting the ball as measured by basically any way you want to measure how hard Dylan Cruz was hitting the ball. I think there's reason to think that he's going to build on what we saw last year in a big, big way. And to the point about, opportunity, that really is a huge part of the deal. And we're talking about a hugely talented player with a huge, huge opportunity and a massive safety net in terms of, his ability to fail as well. And if you want to consider last year's debut, quote unquote, or a failure with a 641 OPS, he was still above replacement level during that stretch. So if you extrapolate that over a full season, we'd still be talking about something like a 3-win player or a 2.5-win player, which is a pretty good basement to have as a player that young, 23 years old. So I know he's one of the betting favorites, but I am all in on Dylan Cruz as the NL Rookie of the Year.
Love that. And I never really read too much into the first 300-400 plate appearances of a player's career, especially when they. I don't want to say he was fast tracked because he earned his promotion to the big leagues, but
for sure.
I mean, he did not spend a ton of time in the minor leagues.
No, and I think you're right about not reading too much into it, but in the right way. Like his hard hit rate was 10% higher than the league average. Like that to me matters and is indicative perhaps more of what he's able to do moving forward than the fact that, he had an underwhelming triple slash in 132 plate appearances.
Yeah, I mean, if the contact rate continues to trend positively, now we're starting to talk about his ball strike decision making, the OBP, like you said, the triple slash line. You want to see that kind of get a little sexier. But I just go back to the opportunity that he's going to have combined with a skill set. Like this is it's a wonderful pick. I don't care that it is the leader in the clubhouse pick. It's a great pick. However, boys, that NL Rookie of the Year, it ain't leaving the Allegheny, fellas. It just simply ain't, because it's going to go to Bubba Chandler. It will absolutely go to Bubba Chandler.
You're just saying this because he followed you on Instagram, yeah?
No, I mean, he's a brilliant dude. You know what I mean? Okay. He knows what's up. Shout out Bubba. I actually landed a Bubba on-card auto of 25. Big shout out to Bubba. But the reason is because the world is already primed for another electrician to be hired by the Allegheny Electric Factory, and it's going to be Bubba Chandler. And when he hits the scene doing things that remind you of what you felt when you saw Paul Skeens come up just a year ago, is it going to be Skeens-esque? I'm not telling you that. But what I am telling you is this dude has balls the size of planets. Like you're going to have to take a wheelbarrow out there to get him and his ball sack on the mound. So the confidence combined with stuff, once again, combined with opportunity once he gets there, because, I mean, the clock is just a ticking, and for whatever reason you can have. But when he shows up, he will show up and he will leave with NL Rookie of the Year honors.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong.
I got to be honest. I was disappointed to not see him be the guy to get that spot that went to Majinski. In the back end of the rotation. I understand why they have a pecking order they have to go through. I get it. But, for all of us people who like to see potential aces or potential number twos debut, it'll be fun whenever Chandler debuts.
I'm glad you mentioned the spots in the rotation here, Jay Hay, because we do have Jared Jones and Mitch Keller on the podcast today.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And we will be getting to those interviews after the player awards. We'll come back with the division winners and wild card picks. But before we continue, because we still have American League Rookie of the Year to go and Cy Young and MVP. But I would imagine if you're listening to this podcast, you would want to go and watch these guys go out there and perform on route to winning these awards. So that's why you need to download the Game Time app. Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Let me ask you this question, Justin Havens. Mm-hmm. Is there a game, I know we'll be in St. Louis, but is there a game on the opening day slate that you would love to use the Game Time app to buy a ticket to?
Like if I was just hypothetically able to go to any game.
Yeah, if you could just transport anywhere on the continent to be able to go to a game. What's the answer?
I'd want to go to Los Angeles, California, and see the 7 p.m. game between the Dodgers and the Tigers, which is going to feature Slab Lab veteran and reigning AL Cy Young winner, reigning AL pitching Triple Crown winner Tarek Skubal against recent free agent mega signing Blake Snell. That to me is the marquee matchup of the entire day, among many, many great matchups. That is where I would want to be.
Yeah.
What about you, Dallas?
With the Game Time app.
Well, I got to tell you, I have one of the best seats in the house where I'll be at up in Seattle, watching a couple of studs square off. Luis Severino against Logan Gilbert. But Jay, hey, I have to completely and wholeheartedly agree with what you just said, because I mean, that is just pure Southpaw sex dripping off the mound right there between Skubal and Snell. So that is exactly where I would be as well. Yeah, and you bet your sweet bibby I'm going to have that game up on my device.
You got Shohei versus Skubal, lefty, Hundo, up and in. What's he going to do with it? I mean, I could see that playing out the same way that it played out with Skeens. Punchy, homer.
Sure.
Hey,
it's Shohei Ohtani.
Hey, tell you this. We will have a film room sesh with Scoobs coming up very, very quickly after that.
Yeah. That's going to be very necessary.
That's a must.
Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Game Time Picks makes last-minute ticket buying even easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. When you toggle the all-in pricing feature, that shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets. And the lowest price guarantee, your Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code BID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, the American League Rookie of the Year Award. I kind of cheated with this one. Because when you think of this guy, you're like, oh, he's not a rookie. He's been around for a little bit. By the way, no one picking Sasaki is...
Sasaki, I know.
Yeah, nobody picks Sasaki in the National League. That's interesting. But in the American League, I'm going with a guy that has had quite the path to the big leagues. A guy that it looked like it was an automatic that he was going to be a big league stud. And then things took a turn. Injuries derailed his path to the big leagues. And he ended up in an organization that surprisingly was not the team that drafted him in the first round originally. And now here he is back in the big leagues after a very, again, interesting path to get there. My American League Rookie of the Year pick is Kumar Rocker of the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
I respect it. I'm absolutely here for that. That's a hell of a pick, because that means that's a hell of a season on deck for a dude who we've been dying to see just start to undress folks. I would be very much here for that. Very much so.
Nope.
That's a solid selection. Look, brother, the award stays with the boys on the bump here. And while it's not Kumar rocking, there's going to be another fella rocking, and that dude's name is Jackson Jobe.
Okay, I considered.
Jackson Jobe is going to be rocking. And you and I and Jay Hay and Jake just started to salivate over the matchup we're going to see between a guy by the name of Tarek Skubal and the likes of an MVP roster with the Dodgers. Well, when you get somebody like that right next to you in the locker room, somebody that you can learn from on a day in, day out basis, when Jackson Jobe has the opportunity to do that and sit down with another guy who is an uber competitor and flair, like I think that's a great place for him to land. And I think because of his competitive streak as well and his stuff, I mean, this is a dude who, look, he got a little taste last year, right? 4 scoreless last year. But this is a guy who I think is going to be hugely impactful in what the Tigers are trying to do this series or this season in the Central.
I like it. Jay?
Very nearly lined up with you there. Job was my last cut. I think it's a great pick, obviously, for that reason. My concern with Job was just volume, like what innings pitch total are we going to see from him? I think the talent, like on a per inning basis, I think he's going to be undeniable in that. I'm very optimistic about that. And I actually have similar concerns for my own pick, just on the offensive side. Like, what is the volume that we're going to end up seeing from him? And it's a chalk pick, but I am picking Roman Anthony. I don't have any inside knowledge as to how quickly he's going to make the team. You know, I'm not on the gossip. What is it? The rumor mill. What's your guys' thing?
Yeah.
The rumor mill. What's the rumor mill saying?
The text thing. Yeah, where the
scoop shop?
The scoop shop. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not in the scoop shop, so I don't have any inside info, but my gut is telling me that Roman Anthony's talent is too much to, I mean, obviously the rankings are what they are. This isn't some inside scoop here, but I just think he's going to force the issue and make the team sooner rather than later. And I think his impact is going to be immediate as soon as he gets up. And I think that's going to be enough to win the award.
It's interesting. Over Christian Campbell, who's making the opening day roster.
Yes, that is. I realize that is something of not a contradiction, but yeah, I mean, it's you know, if you're optimistic on all the Red Sox prospects, Christian Campbell would be the clear pick right here for the reasons that you just said. But I don't think it's going to be very long before Roman Anthony is a regular in the Boston starting 9, and I think even 80% of a Roman Anthony season is going to end up being the most valuable season that any AL rookie contributes.
I like that. That makes me excited. Not as excited I get from my Cy Young pick, though.
Who's your Cy Young pick?
In the American League?
Who's your Cy Young pick? You got any repeats?
No. This is the first time pick for me, brother.
Okay.
Never picked this gentleman before.
Okay.
You know. But I'm happy to announce that my American League Cy Young pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pig. It's Garrett Crochet. And it's not even going to be close, from what I understand. From what I'm being told, Garrett Crochet is going to roll in there in 2025, win 20 games, have a sub-3, north of 250 strikeouts, and a K per 9 of, I think Jake was saying 17 and a half. Was it 17 and a half, Jake?
I think it was 19 and a half, actually.
19 and a half. Ks per 9, Dallas.
That's sexy.
Yeah,
that's sexy. Look, if they were giving that award out right now in the Grapefruit League, bud, it's great contender.
Dallas, you're doubting Garrett Crochet's ability to.
Not at all.
Okay, I just want that on the record. I just want you to have the fucking balls to say it on the record if you didn't feel that way.
I was merely stating that you're excited about numbers.
So you picked him too then? You picked him too then?
No, I did not pick him.
Oh, so you think that someone's going to have a better year than what I just said?
Yeah, for sure.
You think someone's going to have a better year than 20 wins, a sub-3, and a 19 and a half strikeouts per 9?
Well, that's what you think is going to happen.
Well, you agreed with me, you said.
I agreed with you that what? No, I didn't agree with anything you said.
You did. I said you think he's going to do that, and you said you agreed.
No, no. And we're going to talk about.
So you think he's trash?
No, not at all. That was never a statement either.
Have you seen the size of this guy? He would beat the fuck out of you.
I have. He's a brick shit house. He's huge. He's huge. I would have to just latch on to like one limb and pray to God. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make him the Cy Young Award winner. It makes him a top three choice, maybe even top 2 choice. But heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you better come packing a fucking punch if you are going to knock the crown off of the reigning, defending Cy Young Award winner, and that's Tarek Skubal. Give me one reason why he's not taking it home again. Things are only getting better. He's only getting craftier, meaning he's only understanding more and more why he dominates and how he dominates. That's bad news. That's bad news. Crochet's going to be in a situation where they're going to be taking the training wheels off. I don't know if the pressure for him to have to go out there and try to get through 7+ every night is going to be, every 5th day is going to be something that he can contend with, right? I know what kind of competitor Tarek Skubal is. I know what that DNA makeup is like. And so I'm excited and very confident to put Tarek Skubal on top of my list.
This is even more so why I'm surprised you didn't go Bieber for comeback player of the year, since you're just going to throat the balls of all the slab lap guys.
No, come on. I had an opportunity very early to do that. And I did not.
No, that's fine. No,
this is the first selection.
No, you're good.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's no reason why, there's no reason why that's a bad pick. I think it's a great pick.
It's the right pick.
It's a great pick. It's not the right pick. It's a great pick. Unfortunately, because Garrett Crochet will be winning the award. Justin Havens, are you weighing in here with a pick that's different from either mine or Dallas's?
You know how I'd like to answer that?
How do you like to answer that?
Can you hit that music you were playing before?
Oh, geez, so tired. So tired.
Oh, yeah.
Jay is now the cousin who moved to Boston and is like, yeah, man, I got a couple cousins who really like the Red Sox. Hold on. I just like the Red Sox too now.
I was building my redraft franchise around Garrett Crochet while y'all were sucking on Spencer Strider, so I don't even want to hear it, okay? I've been on this Garrett Crochet thing since the moment it happened. I'm all over it, and I'm siding up with Jared here. Let me add a few things. More pitches in the strike zone, less contact on pitches in the zone, more swings at pitches out of the zone, and more first pitch strikes. 3rd highest strikeout rate by a left-handed pitcher in a single season in Major League Baseball history, minimum 30 starts, and the highest K to walk percentage by any starting pitcher last year who threw at least 140 innings pitched. Everything is there. He just needs like 25 or 30 more innings. And we're talking about the guy who probably would have been a Cy Young contender last season. I think the way his season ended with kind of the weird innings pitch stuff actually worked to obscure how good of a pitcher he actually was last year and the massive step forward that he took. And I think this year it's just going to be a consolidation of everything we saw last year. Cy Young. And you know what, Dallas? I don't even think it's going to be fucking close.
That's a great effort to come in second place. I can't wait to watch an incredible, maybe the best second place season ever in the American League Cy Young Award. Maybe ever.
What up?
Maybe ever.
Section 10 in the building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about right. It's about right.
I just call it like I see it, man.
But it's wrong.
And if that leads to me coming on once a month to talk about Garrett Crochet on Section 10, then that's what it is. You know,
God. Here we go. Are you not vying for a spot on Christ?
I'm just anybody who wants to hear about the gospel of crochet. That's a podcast I'm willing to participate in.
Go fucking knit and crochet your own socks balls over there, pal.
So that concludes the Cy Young Award, yes?
Still need to do NL.
No, we need NL.
Yeah, we need the other one.
Yeah, we need the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the NL Cy Young Award, I'm going with a pick that I've been waiting to make. I've been dying for I've been dying for this to be correct. I think this is the year. I think this is the year. And if it's not, then shame on me. But I think this is the year. Your National League Cy Young Award winner in 2025. For the first time, which could be the third time.
Should be.
How about Zach Wheeler?
Yeah.
How about it?
Yep.
How about it? Why not?
Yep.
Why not?
Good
Why
pick.
not Zach Wheeler?
It's a great pick.
It's, you know, like, do I think deep down that Zach Wheeler will have the best season of any pitcher in the National League? Nah, maybe not. But he's the guy that the resume is just quite simply missing the Cy Young. He's pitched well enough to earn at least one. And why not this year? Why can't this be the year that he gets the one?
There's no reason why.
I have one answer.
Please.
It's because he pitches in the same league as Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
And as uncreative as that answer happens to be, it is my pick for the NL Cy Young because he was damn near the most valuable pitcher in the league last year while throwing 130 innings pitched. And I think he gets better, but he doesn't have to win the award. And his ERA can go up by 3/4 of a run from what it was last year, and he might still be the very best pitcher in the NL. I think it's going to be a full serving of Skeens, and I think that's going to be enough to, not easily because there's a lot of talent, but I think it's going to be very definitively Paul Skeens' award to win.
You called him the most valuable pitcher, and that was abundantly clear. This is a man who received most valuable player votes. A rookie pitcher who didn't throw enough innings to qualify for the award for the best pitcher, but received award votes for the best player overall. Like, just, that's who that dude is. That is who that dude is. Another Slab Lab alum. There's really nothing more to say. Jay, I think you said it all. The as far as overpowering stuff, the one thing, like, just outside of the baseball, outside of the numbers, the X's and O's, simply because this is an opportunity for the star, the face that baseball has put forward. And I mean, not only because he has deserved it, but because it's an easy star to attach yourself to. It's an easy star to get behind and polish and shine daily. I think that's also just going to be another hurdle that competitors have to clear, is how endearing he already is in terms of the baseball world and culture.
And like, just think about the barrier to entry for the Cy Young conversation for a pitcher, right? And, you know, for most guys, it's like, are you throwing 175, 180, 200 innings pitched, right? Like, those are the guys who end up in the conversation in the modern game. Paul Skeens' threshold, his barrier to entry is 150 innings. Like, that's just what it is, because he was almost there at 133, right? And so, like, if we're talking about a guy who really only needs to get to 150 to be in the Cy Young conversation, like, maybe not the leader, but front and center. And I think he's going to pitch more like 175, 180, 190. Then, like, to me, it's just, pitching is never an easy award to project, but I just feel like Skeens is set up so nicely here.
He closes the gap because what happens inevitably is you start to have the body of work conversation, right? Because if it's his 153 innings to Zach Wheeler's 210, now we have to go and look at what the domination looks like. And he is capable of closing that gap just based on utter dominance. And that's where the race would really start to get intriguing, is if he doesn't get to that 75, 180 mark, and he's got to contend with a dude like Wheeler who's spending 200 plus, now there's got to be some real attention paid to just how dominant he is. And I think he still has the ability to close that gap.
I mean, I know we're kind of belaboring it at this point, but like, so Skeens finished third in the Cy Young last year. Logan Webb threw 204 innings of a 3.47 ERA and finished behind Paul Skeens in the Cy Young voting. He threw 70 more innings than Paul Skeens. Now, his ERA was a run and a half higher, but that's kind of the whole point here. Is like, there's Dylan Cease, 189 in the third innings last year, the exact same 3.47 ERA as Logan Webb, finished behind Paul Skeens in the Cy Young. So like the table is set here for even a marginal step forward from Skeens to just take it.
And what Wheels finish with? 200 plus?
Yeah, Wheeler had 200
205?
exactly. Yeah, but with a 2.5. So it's like,
yeah,
if he can mix that again, then obviously, he'll finish where he did last year, which is ahead of Paul Skeens. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Interesting. The MVP conversation. What do we get? Dallas's NL Cy?
You're with me,
yeah, Paul
buddy, right?
Skeens. Yeah, absolutely. Paul Skeens.
Okay. So we got Wheeler, Skeens, which brings us to the MVP. It's interesting because I feel like you've got Judge, you've got Ohtani. I mean, those are the safe picks. Did anyone here go Judge or Ohtani? Because I mean, like, obviously, I think if we were picking with our lives on the line, I think we would probably go Judge and Ohtani. But in the interest of trying to go off the grid here for a cute pick, I think we all do that? Did anyone go Judge or Ohtani here?
No, but I don't think we need to preface this with that.
We do. We get new listeners every year.
Yeah,
we get new listeners every year, and they need to know that we don't go chalk with the Cy Young and MVP
you
picks.
try not to. I absolutely did. I got the guy who won it last year winning it again this year. So fuck that. If they're good enough, they're good enough. But I know what you're saying because I have an absolutely valid reason in my mind for not going with Shohei Ohtani. So sneak peek, that's not who my NL MVP pick is. But there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
There's reasons for it. So like, Aaron Judge, he's going to have another Judge type season where he absolutely put the team on his back. It feels like that. And that's okay to say. That's okay to say because I don't know how many people are excited about what the rotation is going to be able to do as far as sustainability goes.
I think we've kind of moved past the team needing to make the playoffs or win the division to win the MVP. Like if Judge puts up a fucking 10 WAR season and the Yankees finish 3 games under 500, he's winning the MVP.
Right.
I do think for as much as the team thing factors in, to me, it's as much about, as it relates to Judge and Ohtani, is you're competing against the ghost of yourself at some point when you are performing at this high a level and you are racking up the awards. I'm not saying that either of these guys can't or won't be the most valuable players in their league, but like if Aaron Judge has a season that's 80% of what he did last year and is neck and neck with 2 or 3 other people, I just don't know that he's going to get the same level of support that maybe his stat line would otherwise suggest. And if Ohtani follows up a 54-59 campaign, 9 WAR campaign with something more like, what's traditionally possible for a DH, let's just call it 7 wins or something like that, which would still be amazing. Is he still going to get that same level of support? I think they are the betting favorites for reasons. So I hear y'all on that, but I don't know. Like we've seen plenty of instances in sports history where great inner circle players continue to perform at what is a legitimately great MVP caliber level and don't get the award support because they've already done it at a higher level before that.
And those are all, and I think we have already gone through, we anticipated, we've gone through, we're on the other side of, there was a revival, and I think that wave is coming around again of Ohtani fatigue. And I am not one who has experienced it. I do not subscribe to it because I appreciate greatness every day that it's great. And that's who Shohei Ohtani is. But for other reasons that I will mention right now, he is not the MVP. And my MVP pick out of the National League is Elly De La Cruz. And I want Elly De La Cruz to really come into and become the player that we have seen. And I think we've seen flashes of sustainability. But when you start to talk about the power and speed combo that I love over the American League with my pick, this is a dude who the athleticism and the talent, they almost mirror each other. The excitement, but just the the tools. And I think you're watching it all start to come together. But for Shohei Ohtani, this is a guy who is coming off a season in which he had, or an off season in which he had shoulder surgery. He's still rebounding from the elbow, and he has attention that he has to pay to that. So when I think about a guy really having to be careful with how he goes about his business, more so this season than even last season, I think there's some things that could take away from moments that would allow him to continue the pursuit. Like if it's 50-50 in the crosshairs again, does he take the not training wheels off, but does he, you know what I mean? Does he take the bumpers off and allow him to go? I don't know. So I think that there's room for somebody else to come in and have a great breakout season, a 7.5 to 8 win season for Ellie. I would love to see that.
Justin Havens.
I'm with Dallas on this one. Ellie is my pick as well.
Wow.
Let's go.
I think what I'll add to what Dallas said, which I'll agree with, is that I see a guy who slashed 259, 339, 471 with a strikeout rate north of 30% and was a 6.5 win player last season. Like that to me, that's he is the guy who has the most direct path to an actual 8 or 9 win season that could threaten what we just saw from Ohtani last year or what we think Ohtani's likely baseline production is. Like Ellie's path, Lindor probably maxed out at what he did last year. A lot of these other candidates, Ketel Marte, Matt Chapman, William Contreras, all of these other guys who were the other best players in the league last year, at least by wins above replacement. Like I think they're either not real true MVP candidates or they have maxed out their skill sets and they are below the Shohei Ohtanis of the world. And frankly, below the Ellie De La Cruzes of the world, who, if he just continues to take marginal steps forward, and that's the other thing, like for as flawed of a player as Ellie still is, there were some things where he took marginal steps forward. The swing and miss, just a little bit less than it was the year before. The walk rate, up a little bit from where it was in his debut season. And if you can keep inching those things forward, his barrel rate up, all that sort of stuff, launch angle, driving the ball, ground ball rate. Now you want to keep the ball on the ground to some extent with that speed, but you also want a guy like that driving the ball. I think there's a lot of reason for optimism for his candidacy because he's like the only guy who can, at the end of the day, be an incredibly flawed player while simultaneously being an MVP candidate.
I like that explanation.
There's just so much that he brings to the table.
Yeah, so I didn't go chalk with Ohtani, but I didn't go too far off the chalk. And my reasoning starts with, it's kind of a chalky pick, but he's never won one.
Well, they got it. Well, they're going to have to win. They are going to have to win because there's no way you have the narrative surrounding the offseason and have all the shit go down that went down, and then you don't win. And then you don't win.
I'm not saying that they won't win, but I don't think they need to win for this individual to win the MVP because
I do.
He can go out there and have a 8-WAR, 1,000 OPS, 420 OBP, 40 homers. He can do it. He might do it, especially now that, in year one of the largest contract in professional sports history, North American sports history. Now that he's taken care of, there's no pressure. It's like, hey, now I can just go out there and do what I do what I've been doing, and only do it in a carefree manner. I don't have to worry about if my family's suite is taken care of. They're good.
Well, I was just going to say, now that your family has a clothing stipend, you can finally play baseball, huh? You're finally in a good headspace. Now we can get down to it. Is that what you're thinking, Jared?
That's what I'm thinking. He's taken care of. His family's taken care of. There's no more pressure. There's no more dickhead Yankee fans doing the roll call. Being like, hey, Juan, we love you in the Bronx. Resign, Soto. We love you here.
Yeah, Uncle Stevie said, hey, take you and the whole family over to TJ Maxx, huh? Put it on Uncle Stevie. We got you covered. Oh, thanks.
Yep. What did he have statistically? Was that his highest WAR last year? Yeah. Yeah, 7.9 last year. He has best season in his walk year. I'd like to think that he can find that next level now that he's
Comfy.
I mean, yeah, like this is a dude that he is motivated by stuff like that. I just got paid all this money. I want to live up to the deal. And it's year one. And he's already experienced New York, conquered that. I'm not worried about him performing in the market. He's already done it.
No.
I think it's a matter of I want to take myself to the next level. Age 26, he's already been in the league for 7 years. This is his age 26 season. This is right in the prime. I think that this is the year that he gets his first MVP. I do. I'm not saying it's I had, and again, going back to the guy that I pick is not the guy that I had written down. I had Ketel Marte written down at the start of the show. But I kind of looked at it. I was like, the season he had last year, if he can't win with that year, that was probably his shot.
Tough tickets.
That last year was his shot.
Yeah, you got snuffed out by a 50-50, pal.
Yeah. Who finished runner-up? Because Marte was third. I thought he was runner-up.
Lindor.
Ah, yes. You are correct. Yes. And then finally, last but not least, that brings us to the American League Most Valuable Player Award. And does anyone have a repeat winner?
No. I have a repeat pick from last year, but not a winner.
Okay.
So we have
a repeat pick from last year.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean,
but no.
Do you want me to
no
start?
repeat winners? Yeah,
Go
please.
I mean, a lot of the same conversation we just had about Ellie De La Cruz. And I talked about the athleticism mirroring the guy who I was picking in the American League, who is Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. You're talking about a dude who, again, right at the top, right in the middle of that lineup for the Kansas City Royals. And he is a dude who, like, all he cares about is baseball. That's all he cares. That's all he wants to do is play baseball. I have compared his desire to just be around baseball things to Ichiro. Like, that's all he is concerned with. And I think he just continues to show that he's able to make adjustments as quickly as he sees adjustments being made to him. And that is important to not only sustain the production, but to grow. You have to be able to figure out how the league is attacking you, how they're adjusting to you. And not only that, but build on whatever shortcomings you feel that you have or that you've identified. And I think he is more than equipped to do all of those things. That's all we see is those things trend in that way. So Bobby Witt Jr. for me is an easy selection for the American League MVP. I mean, it's a Judge doing what he did.
It's a great pick.
Again, I mean, fuck.
It's a great pick, Dallas. It's not the correct pick, but it is a great pick.
That's the winner.
Justin Havens?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us the correct pick.
I will.
Oh, okay. I hate to just kind of ride DB's coattails on these picks here, but I'm going to have to do it because Bobby Witt was my pick last year. I felt like that was quite a ride. He took me and us on in very nearly bringing home that award. I know the votes were definitively in Aaron Judge's favor, but statistically, I still do feel like that was one of the great MVP battles of all time. Just in terms of, to your point, what it took from Aaron Judge to deny Bobby Witt the MVP. I mean, whether we're talking about B WAR or F WAR, it's either a 9 or a 10 win season. Like it is literally one of the greatest seasons that we've ever seen by a shortstop. Like by F WAR, it's better than any single season that Mike Trout has ever delivered. Let that sink in for a second. What Bobby Witt Jr. did last year is better than any single season Mike Trout ever produced. And I just think when you look at, if we put Aaron Judge aside for a second, if you look at the other candidates, what those guys have to do offensively now that Soto's out of the league to be in the Bobby Witt category, given that he's playing shortstop and playing offense at the level that he is just so fucking high. Like what Vlad Jr. or Yordan or these bat-only guys have to do offensively to equal a Bobby Witt in terms of overall value, I just think it is an enormous burden for those guys to overcome. And I think the other primary candidate that would threaten Judge other than Witt would be Gunnar Henderson. And I just don't like that Henderson is starting the season off at less than 100% health. And, I think Bobby Witt is on merits a better player right now than Gunnar Henderson. So with the available information, I'm taking Bobby Witt again to win the MVP, and I think he brings it home.
Okay. I hope he does. I love
he
Bobby
fit too.
Witt.
He fit too.
I love Bobby Witt. But all that to say, I feel like there's one young player who can give Bobby Witt a run for his money. And that's my pick for the American League MVP. And that is, Jay Hay, the aforementioned Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Gunner's got to stay healthy, but this is someone that had almost, where is it? Like 40 fewer hits than Bobby Witt last year and was right up his keister wins above replacement. So,
well, he's another. I think the speed power combo favors him more in the power category than it does like a raw split between the two. Because I don't know how much he continues to run, maybe if the power continues to grow, because there's some.
If he hits 40 homers, it might not fucking matter,
Yeah,
well,
Gunnar out homered. Gunnar out homered Witt, but Witt out slugged Gunnar.
But how many triples, right? And the doubles and and that's where I say like athleticism, man. They're great athletes. Bobby Witt Jr. This boy's a baseball player, man. A baseball player, base runner. Like these things, all of these things matter. And I think Bobby Witt Jr., the skill set is it's a little better.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't feel too strongly about it. We told me if we fast forwarded ahead and we saw Bobby Witt Jr. won the MVP, would I be surprised? Absolutely not. Be very excited. Be very happy for him.
I mean, the underlying stats, like you look at stuff like expected slugging and all that sort of stuff, which I'm not saying are flawless stats by any means, but like the players that Bobby Witt Jr. is surrounded by are all the greatest sluggers in the game. Like literally, it's Judge, Ohtani, Soto, Alvarez, Witt, Ozuna, Vlad Jr., Corey Seager, Brent Rooker. Like,
yeah,
and he's playing shortstop, and all those other guys are not doing that.
And the speed out of that entire group, Jay, who's one comparable player? Yeah, Seager's playing shortstop.
Yeah,
but as far as the base runner, as far as the athlete goes,
Ohtani,
right? Yeah, a guy 50-50. That's it.
Yep.
Them's the picks. We have our division winners coming up in just a moment, but first we got to talk to you about Mando. Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna need to hit the Mando because, buddy, I was absolutely sweating my BA double hockey sticks off.
Yeah,
and the Mando wipes. I'm already
they
out
come
of
in
them.
clutch.
Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're someone that you look like you need to put extra effort into smelling good. You know what I mean?
It's a fair assessment.
Yeah. The time for spring cleaning has come, and to be honest, I'm kind of excited this year. I actually just redid the whole media wall out here. I've got a puppy now who is just pissing and shitting everywhere.
I got a feeling that's why I haven't seen pictures, is because you haven't gotten to that soft place in your heart where you don't want to skin the puppy right now and wear it, as opposed to just love it because it's a puppy and it doesn't know any better.
He's just a baby. He's just a baby. He doesn't know any better, but he is pissing and shitting on everything. Yeah. But we've all been there.
Yep.
You know? So I'm running around the house with this guy. I'm working up a nice little lather with the pup in the yard. I'm also really excited to get rid of my old deodorant. Just started using Mando whole body deodorant, Dallas, and it's been an absolute game changer. From the founders of Lumi, Mando whole body deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a brand new way. I've been getting a lot of compliments actually about my scent. People are noticing.
Yeah, you get sniffed on.
I mean, yeah, you're living in tight quarters these days with when you get a puppy around, everyone's getting up close to you. Like, oh, look at him. I want to give him a little pet. And they're like, wait a second. Is that the dog? I'm like, no. That's me.
Confirmed. You are
like
holding this little shit box.
Yeah, he literally, he's like a baby. He just wants to be held at all times. He just wants to be held right here. And everyone, like, you walk in the house, it's kind of how we stop him from pissing on everything. It's like, he won't piss if he's being held like a baby.
That should you create any bad habits at all, you're going to be fine there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's got absolute special treatment. And so will your balls if you shop with Mando. And new customers get a $5 off starter pack with our exclusive code and link. And what's that code, Jake?
BID.
Yeah, it is. Promo code BID at checkout. Shopmando, SHOPMANDO.com. Shopmando.com. Use the promo code BID, and that'll get you $5 off a new starter pack with Mando. Get yourself smelling right. Come on, take care of yourself. It's the simple things in life that we have to worry about. The best part, all the products baking soda free and paraben free. What do you know about paraben?
Yeah, it's a waxy topic, Jared. We don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
It's one of my runner-ups for Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Paraben.
Yep. Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap. That's crazy. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor level was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor level is a 0 out of 10.
Did you guys?
That's all I need to know.
I'm pretty sure that Reddit.
They want the grundle level.
The grundle meter?
They were talking about who had what grundle score after listening, and I believe I had the lowest grundle score, which means you guys have smelly ass grundles. I think is the point.
Why would mine smell?
Yeah, why would mine smell?
I'm not sure. That you guys are going to have to follow up with them, but
I mean, in January, I think the Butt Boys grundles were probably doing terrible.
That's probably because you guys talk about how bad your regions are. That's probably
Are you kidding me? I've got a well manicured.
Well, that's because
you're
under the leadership of Mando now.
That's right.
Manicured, you say?
Yeah, freshly shorn.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah,
that's shopmando.com. Promo code BID. Good for you.
Clean as a whistle.
All right. Now it's time for Jared Jones and Mitch Keller.
Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, Pittsburgh Pirates. When people think about the Pittsburgh Pirates in the rotation, obviously the name Paul Skeens comes up quite a bit, but you guys are deep. Like, there's guys that can chuck it in the Pirates rotation. How slept on do you think the rotation as a whole is going into 2025?
Man, I don't know if we talk about it enough, like the depth that we've got. Obviously, Jared and Paul, myself, we got Bailey Falter, then we just signed Heaney. Dude, we're awesome, man. Yeah. It's fucking sick. It's cool. Yeah, it's a good time, especially like all the depth we've got in AAA too. Like, I mean, Bubba. Harrington, Ashcraft. Dude, I'm sure I'm missing someone.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some because we
Burrows,
just have
dude. Yeah, like we just have so many guys. Like I forget all of them. But like, this is the deepest we've been in camp for sure. I think someone from another organization was like, dude, we have so many guys that throw 95 plus. Like, just top to bottom.
Yes.
No doubt.
Sick.
And you guys are all similar in age. So is there kind of just like this open door policy where you guys are all teaching each other certain things? Like who is getting who better?
I would say Mitch. I mean, he's done it for the longest, and he kind of knows the ins and outs of baseball. And then you kind of just go off based on what your pitch mix is. Like if you're a sinker guy, you probably go talk to Paul and Mitch, and if you're a four-seam guy, it's probably me or Bailey.
Yeah, I would double down on that. Like, we're all learning from each other. Like, I love his attitude on the mound. Like, I'm trying to take some of that to my, like, I'm pretty calm out there, but I think I need a little bit more FU at times. But, like, dude, it's fun to just pick people's brains. Like, Paul's got it all. You know, Jared's got a just stupid heater. Like, I mean, it's fun, dude. Like,
Hissing at
yeah,
you.
dude.
It's angry.
It's just
94-95, Mitch.
it's
We're
just
good, man.
angry. Yeah, I know. I'll run it up there every once in a while.
Yeah, I've seen a 7. I've seen a 7.
Yeah, I'll run it up there every once in a while. But yeah, it's fun, man. It's great. Just learning.
It's the friendly competition that we've talked about year in and year out with rotations across the game, but it doesn't sound like there's that sort of there's any sort of animosity. You're not waiting for the guy to fall on his face. You're waiting for him to fall on his face so you can help him pick him back up. How important is that environment to be able to grow in? Because it's one thing to go out and compete and want to get outs. It's another thing to be able to be in an environment where you know you can grow, and there is positivity that comes even from not losses, what we'll call learning experiences.
Yeah, it's like, especially in the, like, you know how it goes in the minor leagues, like, you're all fighting for a spot. And it's pretty cutthroat, especially at the big league level, but I think we're at the spot now, like, we've got 5 guys that, like, we have our spots, and we're rooting for each other because we know we're the anchor of this team, and when we go, the team goes. So just having that mentality has been huge. I don't know if you have more to add on that, but, like, or what you feel, but that's the way I feel about it.
You got to be able to bounce things off, guys. You got to be able to know that there's a certain level of comfort here. It's a trust tree almost, right, where you can speak about the vulnerabilities, you can get some help, and you don't have to worry if you're sort of giving the answers to the test to a guy who's going to, in the minor leagues, what we call pencil whipping you. We had to keep charts, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't, sorry, Mitchie, that looked like 92 to me. The guns broke. Yeah,
Gun said 95. Yeah, 91. Yeah, that doesn't happen, which is cool. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Like, we're all pulling for each other, which is, it's a freeing feeling for sure.
A lot of the focus when talking about the rotation is on like how youthful it is, like how much upside you guys have moving forward. But if we're talking about just 2025, like what do you guys see as the ceiling? Like how good can this rotation be this season?
I think it can be pretty damn good. I mean, when you talk about ceiling, we're all going into year 2, so we're not rookies anymore. We kind of went through year 1, and it's time to start winning.
Do you guys discuss goals amongst each other? Like, I know you guys usually come into camp and they have individual goals, but as a unit, have you guys discussed goals amongst yourselves?
No. I mean, I haven't discussed any goals with these guys. I think we all just have one common goal, and it's just to go out there every single time and just absolutely dominate the opposing team. And I think if we can take care of that, then playoffs are the end goal, obviously, for everybody.
For JJ, go ahead. Sorry.
That's just what I was gonna say. Like, common goal is just every single time out, dominate, and then that'll take us to the playoffs.
Taking what you've done from your rookie year to now, what do you personally have to do to meet a level of expectation that you have for yourself? It could be a small area, like, look, I want to command things better. I want to convert the 1-1 more efficiently. Is there something that is sort of screaming at you in the mirror every morning when you wake up that, hey, this is what we need to pay attention to?
Yeah, I felt like last year I probably threw the same 2 pitches around like 90% of the time, which as a starter, kind of hard to do that for 7-8 innings every time out, but adding a third pitch in the arsenal, third true pitch, and then just refining the other ones are probably the biggest 2 things for me.
Is it a matter of learning to pitch with that third pitch, or just trying to get to a comfort level where I can throw this? Because we understand there's levels to this, right? I threw a breaking ball because it was not punching anybody out. It wasn't doing anything except for not looking like the other shit that I threw. And I knew that was going to be something that had to evolve if I was going to be better. anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm throwing this two-seam sinker type of thing right now, and I broke a bat yesterday with it, so it's feeling pretty good.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. So like when you guys are kind of going into a brand new season, like you talk about like adding new pitches, it's a game that's based on failure. You are going to fail more times than you succeed. But how does that sort of, because you're always making adjustments. Are you ever satisfied? Like if you're working on a new pitch, are you ever satisfied with where you get with it?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, honestly, no. Like you're always trying to get a little bit better. Like
Obsessed with tinkering?
Yeah, which has kind of been some like what of my downfall a little bit is like I'm obsessed with like just nailing it every time, which I've gotten better with over the years just because you realize like it's probably not going to happen every single time, and you got to be okay with it not happening every time. But if you can make it click 75% of the time, then you're in a really good spot. But yeah, that's just something growing up, like learning how to deal with that, because you could dig yourself in huge holes trying to practice something and just chasing something that's probably never going to happen.
Right.
Are we data guys? Are we video guys? Are we analytically driven? Are we more feel? Is it a happy medium between the two?
I would say a happy medium between the two. Obviously, I like the feel of it. Just trying to get the same feel pretty consistently, and then obviously data doesn't lie, so you kind of want to see certain things in certain spots.
So is it a rip it? What do we got? 18, 17? If you hear a 14, you're not happy. You got to step off the mound. I'm talking about four-seam fastballs.
Yeah. For me, yeah. Like, I've been chasing. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about vert, but
right.
Yeah, I've been trying to just make sure my vert's staying the same on my four-seam, and that's been a big focus for me. Is like, okay, yeah, I get the 16 and above for me, or 15 and above is like where I need to live.
You're happy.
Yeah, because I got 6 other pitches that kind of protect the 16 or 15s.
For sure.
But if I start dropping below there, yeah, then I know something's either off mechanically or something with grip or something, or you got to figure it out a little bit.
See, and the reason I'm curious about that is because you're at a point in time where you can quite literally go out there and I'm not saying that this is what you do, but you have the ability to just go outstuff somebody. Like, you know what? I had a bad night last night. To hell with a scouting report. You're going to fucking wear fastballs today, all of you, and I'm just going to shove it down your throat. You can do that. In the event that you don't have that, what is something that you would go to? What is the contingency plan?
It's a tough one. I feel like for the most part,
like that all the time, though.
Yeah, I mean, for me last year, I felt like I just tried to go out stuff everyone, and if stuff wasn't working, I'd mix in a changeup or a curveball a little bit more often.
That's what I saw from the side, and I think for him adding a two-seam now is just gonna is gonna make it even harder for. And I've already seen in the righties just up there, it's like he'll throw a two-seam away to a righty, and it's still jamming them up because they're not expecting it to move. Like he's just got so much.
They got to go out and try to get to 98 plus, and now you've got 14 plus worth of. I mean,
yeah,
bro, that's thumbs
sick.
all day.
It's awesome. Can't wait to watch that.
It's kind of fucked up, dude, to be honest.
Sorry. The last question for me. This time of the year, pitcher health is such a huge conversation topic. How do you guys kind of, like, are you mentally in the back of your head, you're always thinking, like, this is a rough time of the year for pitchers, and are you picking up other tips from other guys on how to stay healthy, or have you just kind of, everybody is different and you know yourself enough in order to take precautionary actions to stay healthy?
Yeah, I feel like everyone's different. I mean, I told you guys earlier I had a spa day today, so
yeah,
yeah, I did.
Pitched yesterday, spa day today. Go in the training room, get some needles done, and that'll put me in a good spot for tomorrow. Get back throwing the baseball again.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it's just different, like where you're at. I mean, obviously some guys are coming in competing for spots, and some others aren't. So it's just like that happy medium of, okay, if you're not competing for a spot, you're really like taking care of yourself, making sure that you're not really hell-bent on the numbers or velo or anything like that. You're just trying to get ready for that first opening day game. And then, if you're competing for a spot, like you're going balls to the walls for whole camp trying to make the team. Like you were.
Yeah.
You know.
Perked up, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
that was me. I was throwing like 96 mile-an-hour bullpens. I don't know what I was doing last year.
I mean, you're getting after it. I mean, you got a spot for it though.
Yeah,
like all that. Yeah.
It all worked out
because of that.
You know how angry that makes me to hear? I mean, I'm way over it. I was never in the neighborhood of 90 anything, but you watch bullpens and fastball might not play the same way. Breaking stuff is similar. But to hear bullpens at 95, 96, like that's just a slap in the face to everybody that came before you sons of bitches.
That's why you're podcasting now.
That's why
exactly.
Well, that comes with pitcher health too. Like I think this year if you tried to go throw 96 in your bullpens, like you'd be hanging.
No, that's not happening this year.
Yeah,
so like 85 last time out. I'm gonna stay there.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. Like part of why we see issues though.
Sure.
It's like you're on track, man, every single side. Like people are trying to live up to these numbers, and
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch.
yeah, like living up to numbers. Like, oh, I don't have my 18-inch sweeper today. On my something's wrong. I'm like, no, it's just a lower than 10 bullpen. Like, like those aren't really acceptable anymore. Like in the terms of, if you're not like in a position to, like if you're a guy competing for a spot, like that's not like, like last year you probably felt like the need to throw harder, and have
eyes on me at all times.
Yeah,
you feel like you're constantly being
judged.
scrutinized,
Yeah.
and the data is reflecting almost like your intent level, right? If the numbers aren't there, you might be looked at as somebody who like. Was the intent there? Were you trying there?
Yeah, like,
were we
what do we
backing
got?
off today? And it's like, really, this is a cognizant effort to maintain health.
Yeah.
2 last questions. Hit them with the repertoire question.
Oh, yes. Okay. So both of you have your pitch repertoire. You can toss one pitch, and you can take that same pitch from someone else in the league. So say you want to ditch the four seam, you have to take someone else's four seam. You don't like your changeup, get rid of the changeup, but you have to take someone else's changeup. What pitch are you giving up, and who's you taking?
I'll give up my brand new sinker and take Paul Skeens' sinker. Okay. That was pretty good.
Decent.
Same.
Same.
Dude, same.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. I'm gonna ditch my heater, my four seam, and take Bednar's heater.
Okay. All right.
Give some bullpen love there.
There you go.
Solid picks.
Get some
Solid
bullpen
picks.
love.
DB.
Yeah.
DB. All right. And the last question for each of you. You're going to jump in a hot tub time machine.
Standard time machine.
And it's the hot tub. It's the better one. And hot tub time machine will take you anywhere you want to go. Any baseball moment in history. Where are you going? What moment in baseball history do you want to witness? You can't be a part of it. You just get to witness it.
I'll go with Dallas Braden Mother's Day. Perfect.
Wow. Playing the
Clip that off.
Crazy. That's probably the first person to pick that.
It is the first. I don't think Dallas
I
even
can't
picked
answer
it.
after that.
Nope.
Dallas's grandma didn't pick it.
Right.
Special.
Yeah.
No. She just wants to go back and watch A-Rod run across the mountain so she can tell him to fuck off every day.
Right.
I don't have an answer after that.
So 5'9", 2010 for both of these guys. Favorite buckos, top notch human beings.
Love that. Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, thank you so much for taking the time, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys. Thanks for having us.
Raise it.
Raise it.
Wow, big thanks to Jared Jones, Mitch Keller for making the time. Hope to see JJ back on the bump real soon. Fun conversation with those guys.
Good dudes.
Yeah.
Good dudes.
Just like the conversation we're about to have about Mack Weldon. Fortunately, Mack Weldon has everything you need to stay cool, comfortable, and stylish regardless of the temperature. Their new Tech Linen combines the easy charm of classic linen with Cool Max technology to help you look and feel your best all season long. You've got polos, sweaters, hoodies, and more at MackWeldon.com. And this is probably one of the best deals we got going here. 25% off your first order with the promo code Jared. Yep, that's Jared. I like clothes that personally feel like they're tailored to my body. I have a very unique shape. So I like clothes that they fit like they're tailored. And that's what you get with Mack Weldon. Again, you also get 25% off with the promo code Jared, Jared, at macweldon.com. Yeah, looking confident doesn't have to mean calling attention to your clothes. Mack Weldon balances classic pieces with updated details to keep you looking sharp. They're not flashy, just classic, always in style, and made from the world's most comfortable performance materials. They're breathable, they're comfy, stretchy, light, which is important. You don't feel like you're walking around wearing a cardboard box. Some of my shirts feel that way.
No, you slop tarts run hot.
Yeah. Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but they feel like the latest in modern comfort. They're the go-to choice for guys who want to look great without even trying. That's basically the story of my life. Breathable underwear that keeps you cool, dry, and comfy all day long. Crazy comfortable, but elevated sweatpants. Ooh. Love that as well. Give your closet a breath of fresh air for the spring. Go to macweldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code Jared. That's Jared. Mack Weldon, MACKWELDON.com. Promo code Jared. Back to the predictions. We go to our division and wild card picks. I can hear the dog screaming downstairs. He must be in the crate. Which, definitely don't wait until I'm done with the podcast. Put him in right now.
Why don't you just go pick the little fella up? You'll be fine. Just right here.
If I put him right here, he would literally sit right here and just be chilling. He's super chill unless you put him in the crate. Then he goes ballistic.
Let him nuzzle the buzzy and just fucking marinate, dude.
Yeah.
Be afraid to put him on the teat.
I would. He'll definitely make a podcast appearance. He's gonna have to because he when I'm home in the morning, like we're recording at night, and usually I'm here with an empty house in the morning, so I'm not gonna put him in the crate to do the podcast because he'll just scream the whole time. So we'll have to put him right here, and we'll just do the podcast with him chilling right here.
You know what? Sometimes things need to be done, Jared. I've done a podcast during childbirth, and I navigated it no problem.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I'm doing great. I look great. Feel great after three kids. Look at me. Yeah. So you two slap dicks, where are we going to start? We're going to start in the American League. We're going to start in the AL East. Do we want to just get that out of the way? Huh? I can't believe you slap dicks. You two are so fucking predictable. There's so many other options, but none of us are going to go with any of them, right?
Are you joining, D?
Who else are you saying? Like, yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Across the board, we got 3 picks in the American League East. We got the Sox, we got the Sox, and we got the Sox.
That's right. Only in your world is a pair of socks, too.
Bobby Dahlbeck.
This pair of socks right here. Hey, we're quad socks. It's 4 socks across socks in the box right here. 4 socks in 4 boxes.
Did you just assume Jake's pick?
Well, you know what? Hand up, dude. And Jake, if I've ever done that before in the past, I apologize. I would never dream of speaking for you as the man of baseball integrity that you are. I know how much deliberation goes into these selections for you, and I would absolutely hate to put my foot in your mouth. So let me retract the quad box comment. As of right now, we're 3 for 3. Just 3 for 3, Jake.
Jake, who you got in the AL East?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dallas, but you were on the right track there. I'm going to go with the Red Sox.
Hey!
That's a great pick, Jake. It's a great pick, Jake. Love the pick. Across the board, we got the Sox. Wow. I did not see that coming. Wow.
Yep. I mean, it's just... I don't know that the Yankees have enough. That's who the leader in the clubhouse is so far. That's what Vegas is telling us, right? Is that the Yankees,
they're not.
the pinstripes. No, not.
Oh.
Are you sure? Are we sure about that?
The Vegas is telling us that it's the Yankees. Yeah, I thought you were saying Vegas was telling us that it was the Sox.
No. Vegas is telling us it's the Yankees. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we're telling the rest of the world, the rest of the free universe, that
Mhm.
this is indeed not the Yankees.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to be back at Fenway in like late September for just games that matter.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be fucking there, man, and it's gonna be
Mhm.
great. Watching the pig just shove it up their ass.
Yeah. Oink, oink, motherfucker. The American League Central. Vegas doesn't like my pick either. I think Vegas has my pick as the third place team.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm convinced, had done some research, had some boots on the ground, so to speak. And why not? Why not believe in them? Why not believe in the Kansas City Royals? Yeah. Why not? Tell me why. Tell me why I'm wrong. Anyone? Would anyone like to explain to me why I'm wrong about this pick?
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
Are you going to join me?
I'm going to join you.
Wow. Okay.
I am
That's
going
two
to join
picks
you.
of the Royals. Wow.
Royals with cheese. Royals with cheese. You ever heard of this flavor of cheese? Extra sharp Reagan's. Ever heard of that, Jay Hay?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm riding the Royals with Reagan's. That's a Royale with cheese. Royals. Of course, the Royals. It was always going to be the Royals. I know that they've got a fine line to walk there. I mean, what we've been talking about with the Detroit Tigers. That's who I think is in their path. That's the hurdle.
No love for the guards. Just throwing them away again.
I'm not throwing them away.
Kind of throwing them away. You didn't even mention them.
I just think the Royals are on a mission at this point.
Okay. I don't think you're wrong, but just figured
don't
some
wanna
love for the
poo-poo the
team that made it
guards.
to the ALCS last year.
Sure. I don't want to
mention
poo-poo
them
the
at
guards.
least, yeah. You kind of poo-pooed them.
You're right. I did.
I would feel poo-pooed if I was Stephen Vogt.
I did. Well, he shouldn't, but I did.
Yeah. Justin Havens, is there any hometown bias with you here?
I picked the Guards last year because I genuinely believed that they would win the division, and I thought they were being undervalued nationally. Sure. I don't feel that way now. I mean, they're being projected for the 4th in the division.
Oof.
In what's still admittedly going to be a very tight division by most projection systems. But they are 4th almost across the board.
He's going to pick the Twins, Dallas.
And I think I think the Guardians rotation is possibly legitimately not very good, just kind of bad. And is like super, super reliant on Gavin Williams from what we saw this spring, like maintaining into a legitimate mid-rotation starter, which might very well happen. But I am unfortunately going to have to align with the two of you clowns and pick the Rocks.
Welcome aboard.
I think
shit.
I don't have an enormous amount of confidence in the Twins. Whatever your instincts were sending you there, I'm not there. I
just didn't think that you would go that far down. Like, I don't know. Like the projections have the Royals as the 3rd best team in the division.
Yeah. I just
love the rotation.
Really?
I just think it's a little bit like, yes, you're right about that. I also think they're close enough where it's kind of splitting hairs to see that much of a difference between the top 3 teams. And I feel like the Royals rotation plus Bobby Witt is the most reliable combination of things that any of the AL Central teams is offering me. And while I think multiple teams are going to make the postseason out of the AL Central, I do think that it's the Royals that are going to be the division champs.
Okay.
With something like 87 wins. I think it's going to be a pretty modest year in the AL Central again.
Side note, Jay, hey, are you packed yet for St. Louis?
I am not.
Me neither. I haven't packed a single thing, and I'm leaving for the airport at 9:15 tomorrow morning. Are you flying out tomorrow?
I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm flying out a little later than you are, but yes, I'm flying out. Yep.
Jake, are you packed?
No, I'm going to pack while I edit this pod.
Yeah. As a reminder, we'll be in St. Louis on opening day. Excited to meet some Cardinals fans, talk shop, see if the best fans in baseball thing is true or not. And I've never been to St. Louis. Never been to Busch. Never met Nelly. So, which
check off.
I am I'm led to believe that Nelly has an underdog affiliation. Do you know anything about this, Jay?
I'm led to believe the exact same thing. I believe he's going to be out of the country, though.
Oh, so we're not going to get to meet him.
I don't think checking Nelly off is going to be one that we're going to be able to accomplish for you this time. But
don't quote me on this.
But in the future, I believe there is a pathway to an underdog relationship. Yeah, between the two. of you.
Don't quote me on this. Is Nelly Ashanti's baby daddy?
That is much more of a you question than it is. I mean,
I know Ashanti,
Right.
obviously, but Jake, book Ashanti. I want to. What's that called? A paternity test.
Yep.
Let's get Maury on the phone, and I want to. Are they
Maury,
dating?
don't call me Cade Povich.
Yeah. Are they dating? Are you looking this up, Dallas? Or are you looking at something else? You wasting my fucking time.
What do you want me to shut? No, that I thought you knew. Yes, that's a lock. That's a done deal.
Nelly and Ashanti are dating?
Yeah. No, that they're.
It
Yes,
looks like
they're
they're back
engaged?
together. They're back.
Are they
together.
engaged to be married? Is this
It says-
legal in the eyes of God? Yes or
yes.
no?
A month
Yeah,
before
they're
their baby
married
was
in
born,
2023.
journalists
They're
discovered that
married.
Nelly and Ashanti had quietly tied the knot. Yes.
They're fucking married, Dallas.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I thought you were. I'm not going to say that was common knowledge, but I was
Oh,
under the impression that you were
please.
speaking as if you knew that. To
Did
be
you not
fact.
just hear Jay said that they quietly tied the knot? Like their
No,
fucking families didn't even know.
Mhm.
No, this happened 2 years ago. Yes, they're 2 or 3 years ago. Their families didn't know, but we
2023.
all know now.
Barely 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. Like we all know now.
Baby's name was
we
Kareem
my
Kincaid
ass.
Haynes.
Oh, so the baby's born.
Yeah.
Buddy, I was rocking fucking vocal.
She was
in high school,
pregnant
pal.
as fuck at the concert at
Yeah,
the Lynn Auditorium. I'll tell you that.
July 18th, 2024, the baby was born.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, the Lynn Auditorium. She was pregnant as fuck. You know.
She's just, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Imagine accidentally giving birth at the Lynn Auditorium in front of an entire crowd worth of people.
Yeah.
Oh,
You pushed it a
Don't
little
hate-
too
don't-
far in the
yeah,
tour
Don't hate on the
scheduling.
Lynn Auditorium.
Yeah,
Come
imagine
on.
explaining that third trimester what happened. Well, we were in Lynn and
Yeah.
we were, where'd you say it was? The Target parking lot? We were in a Target parking lot. And, yeah, that would.
No. I mean, listen, Lynn Auditorium is a legendary venue. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Now,
For sure.
now we know. We're not going to get to meet Nelly, but he is the father of Ashanti's child because they're married.
Yeah, Ashanti is the mother of his child.
That's good. All right. Anyways, yeah, I got the I got the Royals in the Central.
Would be the first time in 10 years they've won the division.
Mm-hmm. God bless them.
Yeah. Well,
The AL West. It's an interesting conversation.
Always
The Houston Astros have run the division for damn near a decade, but they traded away their best player in Kyle Tucker and lost maybe their second best player in Alex Bregman to the Boston Red Sox in free agency. Jose Altuve has moved to left field, and that does not look like it's progressing at the rate that they thought that it would.
It does not.
Nope. That's
I
not
hate
nice to
that.
laugh at him.
I know.
He
I
is
know,
dropping
it's
routine
fucking-
fly balls. It's
But
not even
bro,
like it's
bro,
not even
it's-
like a
no,
matter
no,
of
no,
he's
no.
running bad routes. Like he's dropping routine fly balls.
No, fuck that. You have to talk about it the way it, because he's jumping for balls and they're just not there when he jumps for him. He's
Yeah.
jumped for balls where he doesn't need to jump for balls, and they've hit him in places that you'd like to have a glove on at that point in time. it doesn't look good like at all. He is significantly more comfortable trying to track down a ball with a center fielder and a right fielder converging on him with his back turned to them. He's more comfortable doing that than he is tracking a ball like backwards. Like it's not, I pray, I really do. I hope he gets to a place of comfort where it doesn't feel like it's just look, we're done with that, right? And now we got to go take him back here. Now it's like a complete shuffling of the roster. Like I don't want to think that it gets to that point, but does it feel like it could get to that point?
Can I just ask, like, why we're doing this now? Like, what? Like, I know why they started considering doing it, right? Or at least what the impetus was.
Yeah.
And I know his defense has declined.
It's much worse in left field.
Right. And it's like who are we making room for? Like, it's not like they have this undeniable second base prospect
and he's a Hall of Famer.
Like, it's not like Christian Campbell is there and must play for the Astros, and like second base is the only position that he can play. And like, yeah, okay, then you move a 30-whatever-year-old Jose Altuve out of the way for that. But like they're gonna play Mauricio Dubon. Like, what do we? Is it just too much pride to admit on all sides that this isn't working, or like, is it too soon to be calling? Like, I just don't know what we're doing at this point.
Well, but I mean, we don't have to go down this rabbit hole right now, but isn't that exactly what this attempt is? Isn't this the softest way that this happens initially? This is how it always goes, right? I mean, the safer way to go could possibly be the DH route, but you can't do that because you've got Yordan there. And now what are you going to do? They're going to trot him out there for 130 games left. That ain't happening. Like that, no.
I'm okay with like trying the idea initially, but we're now at embarrassing people level, right?
But that's what I'm saying, Jay. That signifies we all know what's going on here, and we only have kind of really one option. We've got a dude that can play the position, and then we have you and your bat, and we need to find a place for you because we'd rather have Dubon at second than left field, and we've got to have you in the lineup, and it can't be at DH every day. So what do? We hide you in one of the easier left fields to play. Just go stand up there with your back against the wall, and if it's hitting the gap, let the center fielder get it.
Well, it's something that they're doing. They have absolutely entertained it, and it's a vision they want to see through, Dallas. You got to respect it. But spending too much time on a team that I don't think is anyone picking the Astros to win this division?
No.
Jay Hay?
I'm not.
No. Okay.
Probably
I'm getting used to that.
I'm not going to.
That's my dog dad voice. No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Hey,
don't
Freddie.
shit on that. No.
Freddie, fuck you.
Bad. Oh yeah, fuck you, Freddie, by the way. Okay. So the American League West comes down to two teams. The Tejas Rangers and the Mariners of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Are we a house divided, or are we united on the front of the Seattle Mariners?
If you're united in the PNW, we are united, my friend.
Okay.
We are. We're the Eagles soar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You hear that, Jay Hay? That's the Puget Sound. Where are you coming from?
It doesn't sound like he's riding with the Mariners.
It does not sound like he's riding with the Mariners.
No, my grimace was that somehow we're all fucking picking the same division winners in all three AL divisions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I am riding in the Pacific Northwest.
Wow. Okay.
Good for you.
So
Good for you.
at the beginning of the podcast, when I said either you guys are going to be with me or you're going to be wrong, you're with me, which is great.
On the divisions,
you guys are right so far.
It does seem like we're riding together. I just think it's not a good offense, but I think a little bit too much has been made about how bad the offense is. And I think it's actually closer to like average or slightly below average than it is like an atrocious, unsupportable offense. And I think despite the fact that they're starting the season with one of their aces sidelined for a TBD amount of time, I genuinely think they have the rotation depth to withstand George Kirby's absence in the meantime. In any given week, George Kirby could be the 5th best player in this rotation. I don't think that's what he is over the whole season, but that's how talented this rotation is. And I just think that my concerns with the Rangers pitching overall, and I think I have almost as many concerns about their offense ultimately as I do about the Mariners' overall situation. And
Really?
Yeah, I do. Like I didn't think I was going to get there, but when I really settled in and started looking at it, I was like, obviously some of this is going to be park adjusted and stuff like that, because we're talking about two totally different parks,
completely different ballparks for sure.
But like the Rangers offense will for sure be better, but I just think like I have questions about Evan Carter. I have questions about Young. I have questions about Adolis Garcia. Like what part of Marcus Semion's offensive decline from last season is the fact that he's 34 years old, stuff like that. I think they're going to be very competitive. It wouldn't surprise me if they won the division, but I just think I do think the Mariners are, to my a little bit surprise, I feel like they're a more complete team.
Wow. See, and I feel like the Mariners, I feel like there's more room for upside on the question marks for the Rangers.
I agree with that.
Notwithstanding Julio Rodriguez, because I mean, like straight up, man. And I think we kind of all feel this way. If J-Rod hits his stride and this dude becomes the player that the contract begets, like now I think the Mariners take on a completely different complexion, because now he starts to show up and be the player that this team sorely needs at this moment in time, because that's what they're missing, is that marquee offensive player, that marquee offensive season from a guy where it's just unequivocally, this is the dude who's put the team on his back. This is the dude who we're geared around. I mean, Cal Raleigh can provide you all the power you want from both sides of the plate and do it from the position he's playing, but you need a Julio to step up and become Julio.
I just think the Rangers starting, like their pitching staff overall, I just think has like absolute disaster scenario potential. Like I don't know that any other unit of the AOS teams that we're talking about as viable contenders contains that level of downside. And that just makes me very nervous for how they're going to sustain a whole season if they're not getting MVP caliber production out of Corey Seager, if Wyatt Langford isn't, basically an all-star caliber player or builds on what we saw in September last year. I just, I think I went into the process expecting or wanting to pick the Rangers, and I just felt more convinced by what the Mariners were providing at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think it's all because, not speaking for you, I know for me, it's all because of what I know I can expect on the mound. And if I know that I can expect that on the mound, I know more times than not, I feel like my offense is going to have a shot to underperform and still win the ball game. And I don't know that the Rangers are in that same scenario.
Connor, who does our social, is beside himself as a huge Rangers guy.
Oh, Connor been hitting the weight room as well. Old jumping ship Connor, old big fly Connor. I see.
From where he is in the back, like we can hear him, but the listeners can't hear him. So I would love for him to come in here and defend his Rangers, but you wouldn't be able to hear him, unfortunately, for Connor.
Yeah, not much to defend though.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing is like if some of the guys in the rotation stay healthy, then it's like, all right, it's a different conversation. But like DeGrom is just,
great.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right, wild card teams. I feel like we should just roll out our three. Mm-hmm. I feel there's going to be some disparity here.
Yeah, there's got to be.
There has to be. I'm interested to see Dallas's 3 first.
In the American League?
In the American League.
Well, since the Red Sox are winning the division, that means the Yankees, who are slated to win the division, have to end up somewhere in this postseason picture. And I do have them as one of those wild card teams. I also have a team out in the West. That's right. The Athletics. That's right, Jay. Wipe that look of shock off your face. There's a reason Mark Kotze wins Manager of the Year. And that's because the Athletics outperform expectations, even though they are expected to be better. How much better? That's been the question. I firmly believe that if they play the brand of baseball that I think they can play and that I see these guys growing into, there's no reason that they can't be a viable option out of the American League. Maybe one of the lower tiered options, that's fine. But keep your ear to the door because we knocking. We knocking.
Who else you got?
Probably the Astros.
Oh, you have them getting in.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Wait, who's your other team? The A's, the Astros,
A's,
and
Yankees, and the Astros.
A's, Yankees, Astros. Okay. Okay. Jay?
I have two of those three. I have
I do
also
too.
I have also the Astros, and I have also the Yankees.
Mm.
And this last slot was admittedly a little bit difficult to figure out, in my opinion. But I ultimately went with the Detroit Tigers.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Tigres, let's go.
Okay.
I think, quickly, I think that AJ Hinch's management, I know it got a lot of attention in the lead up to the postseason and in the postseason, but I think their ability to manage the bullpen and the non-school bowl portion of the rotation, I think, I don't think it's going to be any sort of massive type of breakouts, but I think Reese Olson and Casey Mize are both going to be better this season than they were last season. And then we already did the Jackson Jobe stuff and mentioned school bowl. So I just think they're going to be the best of that pile of teams in the AL that are going to win, 80 to 85 games.
You know what? I'd like to switch my pick. I would also like to roll with the Motor City Kitties. That was a complete oversight on my
instead
on
of the
my part.
Astros or
instead
the
of the
A's?
Astros. Instead of the Astros.
Love it.
Instead of the Astros.
Good to have you. on
Okay.
board.
So still 2 out of the 3, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not off that green and gold,
I'm
homie.
going to show some love to a team that hasn't been mentioned yet. Sorry, Connor. It's not the Rangers.
Oh.
I do have the Yankees getting in against my better judgment. I don't think they're a good team, but I got the Yankees. I also have the A's.
Let's go. Let's
I also
go,
have the A's.
Carabas. Let's
also have
go.
the
The
A's.
smartest fucking thing you've said on this podcast today.
Well, I got Kotze winning Manager of the Year.
The second smartest thing you've said.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to get the Orioles in there.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
I do think the Orioles are going to get in. So yeah, Yankees, Orioles, A's. For my wild card picture.
Wow. I like
Mm-hmm.
it. That's a roller coaster. That's a roller coaster.
There's a lot happening.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's showing no faith in the AL Central.
None.
That is
None.
not necessarily believing in a team that a lot of folks have a hard on for, like around this time right now, like the Rangers. Like people are saying that the Rangers are one of those sneaky teams you got to look out for, and for very good reason. I'm not saying. I guess I am saying I don't believe in the Rangers, but I still think they're gonna be good. I don't think that they're gonna I don't think they're gonna be dog shit. But I just think a lot of the team that people are sleeping on is the A's, like where the A's are at. And I think because the Orioles had such a disappointing offseason that has led some folks to sleep on the Orioles as well. So it's like, all right, they didn't make any huge additions. They did lose Corbin Burns, and then it's just like, oh, all right, so they're just not gonna make the playoffs now. They're still a pretty damn good team. So I think it would be a big miss on my part if I did not include the Baltimore Orioles in the playoff picture. Now, you have something to say? Something to add?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. It just feels like I don't want this window to feel like it's continually closing as rapidly as it feels like it's closing in Baltimore. And I hate to say that out loud, but
I think
I
we
just
could
did.
be having malpractice conversations as it relates to this starting rotation in
Mm.
like July.
Jay, hey, man. And this is why the stagnation of this offseason, especially with a couple arms that were out there and available, like you could have, right? We could have done something. We could have entertained something. We could have made something a little better. A little better. Because if the window was supposed to be open and it's supposed to be staying open, that has to happen on the mound as well. It just simply has to. And you're not giving yourself that fighting chance.
Yeah. Then to the National League. As the BID listeners are outraged right now because of the lack of communication. They're pissed. There's a whole thing about the pod being late today and people being pissed.
Sorry.
One person even advocating for me to leave the show because of it, saying,
Wow.
Get him out.
I was
Sensible.
saying the same thing before we
Yep.
started recording.
Let Jay Hay and Dallas take over. Get Jared out. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you right now. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm staying. I'm staying. You know, it is non-negotiable. Could we have been better with communication and said, hey, you know, it was going to be late today? Sure. But we also didn't know if it was going to be today.
Yeah.
Real life
very
happens
true.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Fucking chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
You'll get your podcast. You'll get your podcast. Yeah, we couldn't have promised it to you later in the day because we didn't know if it was going to be later in the day. It was very last minute that we were able to get behind the mics.
Fired up.
It's just baseball content. You'll be okay. The National League. In the National League East, a lot of chalk for the division winners because it's just, I mean, why get cute with it? You know, unless someone here wants to step up and get cute, I'm not getting cute with it. With as far as my National League division winners go, NL East is the Braves for me. Anyone disagree?
I do.
Dallas is going with the Phils.
So is Jay.
Jay
Yeah,
is going
so-
with the Phils.
So am I, yeah.
Okay, you guys are obviously dumb.
Nope.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
You got Zach Wheeler logging his first fucking Cy Young, and you think they're coming up short because of that, buddy? Rob Thompson's the manager of the year. And it's
he's
because of
Cy
that.
Young worthy every year.
I know, but this is the year that it gets done, according to you. And what happens?
If
What's
he
the
goes
cherry
from
on top?
third to
The cherry
first,
on
how
top's
much of
the
a difference does that
division
make?
guy.
No.
The cherry on top's the division.
The Phillies are still
Absolutely.
going to win 94 games. The Braves are just going to win like 97 games.
No, the Braves are easily one of the wild card teams, but it's because the Phillies win the division.
Okay. All right, fine. If that happens, God bless. Smells like a jersey bet, doesn't it?
Ooh, it sure does. I'll take that Matt Strom penny. Holler at your boy.
Hell no.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. And you know what?
Hell no.
You know what? I want video footage of the purchase, whether it's you just fucking clicking on the internet or you roll it into
they
someplace.
sell those in stores, Dallas?
Oh, buddy, you kidding me? You know
What,
what? Hey,
Savers?
how about this?
The Salvation Army?
I will buy your plane ticket to Philly. So you go into the team store.
They don't
with
even
Strom
sell those
and
in the
buy
team
that
store.
fucking jersey there.
You think they sell Matt Strom jerseys in the team store?
Yeah, and someone
No
will
chance.
post you a picture of that before tonight. Well, I was gonna say before midnight tonight, West Coast.
I got to figure out what jersey you're buying me because you owe me a jersey and Steve owes me a jersey.
No, we discussed that. That's not the case.
I'll figure that out on the plane to St. Louis.
Yeah, figure that
I'll
out.
figure it out. In the NL Central, obviously Jay Hay agrees with me because of his manager of the year pick. Dallas, are you going to get cute in the NL Central?
Nope. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Yeah.
Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs gonna win today. Yeah, I actually just got to take in a beautiful day at the ballpark with my grandmother, who is a Cubs fan, lifelong Cubs fan. She managed a bar out in Mesa way back in the day when the Cubs were actually in Mesa. So it was really fun just to take her for a ride around Sloan Park, where honestly, it was really cool. 3 different people came up to her and scared the shit out of her because they were like, "You're Peggy, aren't you?" And she was like, and she would grab my arm like, who are these people? Like, they're just people they're Ace fans. They're people who know you. They just, they know. So it was really cool, but she's decked out in her Cubs gear. It was an awesome time. And that is no recency biased. The Chicago Cubs are, in my opinion, well positioned to take this division. Well positioned.
What do you like the most about them? Starting staff?
Probably the starting staff. I think the fact that they also have a bona fide bopper now with Tuck. I mean, it's just, I think it's a great mix of all of the right things, or a lot of the right things that they needed.
Do you think that the Cody Bellinger trade that's not like addition by subtraction? Do you think that they did enough this winter to earn the nod as division winners?
Look, I hate to think that Kyle Tucker is just the tipping of the scale, but it's hard to ignore what his presence could mean to this lineup. And it's hard for me to tell you that Kyle Tucker be damned, they still are as competitive as I think they could be. So, I mean, if I have to give you a 51% chance because Tucker's there, then that's what I'll say.
Are you worried about Kyle Tucker's health? Because
possibly
the Houston Astros traditionally do not trade their stars 1 year out. Like, they'll ride it out till the end. They'll re-sign them, or they'll let them walk in free agency. It's very un-Astro-like to trade someone with a year left on their contract when they're a superstar level player.
And the only reason that, I mean, if you say that, I hate to go down this route, I hate to go down this path, but you know, what do the Astros know that other teams don't? And you can say everything, you know, I mean, because I go back to the handling of the injury itself. You know, they were probably aware of the potential for it to be worse than maybe they had originally communicated. And so with that understanding, maybe they feel like, hey, we watched this guy try to come back from something that after we kind of went back and circled back, we could assess that, you know, maybe we were inaccurate in our whatever. It's just, you know, I think I have a bad taste in my mouth on how things were handled. And I think there's a reason behind it.
So my read on the Tucker thing is less to do with they know something that we don't, and more that they know he's about to command a contract that they don't want to pay. And that the difference between him and all the other people that came before him that they didn't trade a year out is that none of those people were in line to get $300 or $400 or $500 billion, or had designs on getting that amount of money. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, in some of the arms that they've had, right, and some of the other team friendly deals that have helped them, like that have been a big part of why they've had their successful run. But for sure, to the point where you're now talking about, you know, hey, and we can talk about the Bregman situation. Like, if they were as committed to this and committed to giving dollars to players that were of large impact to them, then maybe that's entertained, but it wasn't, or it was to an extent.
And maybe the Tucker thing ends up being something, but you know, when he came back in September, he was somehow fucking better than he was before he went down. So there was no obvious sign of rust when he came back. I mean, he hit 365, 453, 587, and 77 plate appearances. So I'm pretty optimistic. You didn't ask me the question, but my favorite thing about this team is that I think outside of Tucker, the Hap Suzuki combination is severely underrated at this point in terms of not 1-2 punches, because they're not the best players on the team, but potentially 1-2 punches in terms of where they hit in the order. Sure. And, you know, Hap has been, by wins above replacement, one of the 12 or so best outfielders in baseball over the last 3 seasons. He does lots of stuff well, not many things at an extreme level. So he's the type of guy who gets underrated pretty quickly. And Suzuki, in terms of pure bat, has been one of the best offensive players in all of baseball by OPS since August of 2023. Or even if you just limit it to just last year. So I think there's a lot to like. And while we can compare what the Cubs did to what we hoped they would do, what we ultimately have to come back to is how do they compare to the other teams in their division. And despite the 10-game gap between the Brewers and the Cubs that existed last year, which you can't just hand wave away, the Cubs are a definitively better team on paper, in my opinion. And I just feel like that's going to matter at some point.
Yep.
Fair.
It matters.
Yep. No bad takes there. Last but not least, does anyone have the balls to not
No.
pick the
Nope.
Dodgers in the
Nope.
NL West? Okay.
No,
now we
Nope.
can move
not
on.
interested.
Yeah. Okay. Wildcard teams in the National League. Justin Havens, your 3 wildcard teams.
Braves, Mets, and Diamondbacks. Quickly,
Okay.
I think the Braves is self-explanatory. They may be the best, most talented team in baseball outside of the Dodgers. I don't know how quickly we see that version of the Braves, but I think it's fast enough to get them into the wild card pretty comfortably. I think the Mets are the 3rd best team in the NL East. I also think they're good enough to potentially win the division. And I think they would be my pick to win the division if they played in the NL Central. So I'm taking the Mets as well, despite the current concerns about their pitching staff, starting rotation. And the Diamondbacks, I feel similarly about. They would be my pick in the Central if they played in the Central. I think they are a potential 90-plus win team. And I think they, on paper, are a more dangerous team than the version of the team that went to the World Series. Obviously, we're a long way away from that sort of thing. But with the Corbin Burns addition, and I think a genuine bounce back, down ballot MVP campaign from Corbin Carroll. And those are my 3 wildcard picks.
So we have the same teams getting in. I could not obviously pick the Braves to be a wildcard team because I have them winning the division, but I have the Phillies, Mets, and D-backs as my wildcard teams. Dallas.
I have the Braves, Mets, and D-backs as my wild card
There you
teams.
go. There you go.
Look at that.
And I legitimately wrote down on my fucking paper in the car, Central, like all 3 teams, like all 3 of those teams in the Central take the division, like handily.
I think we have World Series matchup too, no?
Let's do it.
Yeah. I got the D-backs going back to the World Series.
Hey,
Yeah.
so you were following that thread I was doing right there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I just, it comes down to pitching in October. I love the staff. They're now battle tested. They've been there. They've done that. I think Corbin Carroll, another, I think it's going to be a big year for him. Not necessarily a bounce back, but more just like a, hey, remember me? Remember how good I am? You know, when you want to talk about all the young stars in this game, and I don't really ever get put at the forefront of that conversation. I can be that good. So I have the D-backs making it back to the World Series and unfortunately losing in 6 games to the Boston Red Sox. Yeah. I mean, it's the American League is just, it's just not, you got to go through 4 or 5 National League teams before you get to the best American League team when you're power ranking MLB teams. So yeah, someone from the American League has to make it. I think that someone is going to be the Boston Red Sox. And then by the time they get there, they usually just don't lose. So I'm going to give the D-backs the respect of making it a 6-game series, which is, again, that would tie the longest World Series against the Red Sox. Usually we get it done in 4, gentlemen's sweep 5. That one time in St. Louis or against the Cardinals in 2013, that was 6. Didn't need to be. You know, you had that obstruction call. Shout out to Will Middlebrooks and Alan Craig. Didn't need to be 6 games. But yeah, usually when the Red Sox get to the World Series, we get it done nice and quick for you. So I'm giving the D-backs respect. Red Sox over D-backs in 6. That's my pick. Yep.
Jay, I would love to hear where you're going with this. I would love to hear.
Yep. So obviously I've been riding the Red Sox train this whole time, right along with Jake and Jared. And I'm going to take it right up until that last stop. And then I'm just going to hop off.
You're hopping off?
I'm going to take them to make I'm going to take them to make the World Series. But my World Series winner is the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh,
and
this is not smart, Jay.
Well,
they don't lose the World Series. If they're making it to the World Series, they're winning it. You should have them losing in the ALCS if you're going to.
I do understand what their track record is. I feel like I'm not going to trash the Red Sox because obviously I have them doing lots of fun stuff this year. But to me, the Phillies, there may be no team in baseball that feels their level of urgency to win in the present. I feel like that they are primed to win this year, but they are very much bumping up against the end of this current era. And I think this is going to be their last best chance. And I think the front office is going to behave accordingly. I think this is going to be not an all-in season because you don't really see that stuff anymore, but we're willing to supplement this team in any way that needs to happen as the season goes on. I think that's going to happen on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm envisioning an Andrew Painter second half into the postseason, sort of high level impact electricity out of the bullpen, kind of breakout star as they head to the World Series. But I think this Phillies era, which would feel a little bit incomplete in my opinion, without a World Series capper in the Bryce Harper Phillies era, I think they get it done in 7 against the Red Sox.
Okay.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
Well, that's I always keep you on your toes, buddy.
You do. I do not have the Red Sox making it to the World Series. Just
so
want to get that out there. Want to get that out there right now.
Whatever, geek.
Because the story is going to be significantly better when it's the Seattle Mariners who have made it to the World Series
for the first time
in the history of Everton. And that will be all the more reason why it's heartbreaking that they lose to the Los Angeles Dodgers in 5 games. In 5 games.
You've got the easy work.
I think that the matchups are going to be undeniably pitching heavy, pitching favored, but I just think it's pretty obvious that there's one offense that like Bonnie Blue, does not stop coming. And that is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Damn. You've got no concerns about
anymore.
Yeah, no, there's no chance. You've got no concerns about Mookie Betts losing 55 pounds?
That's a little troubling, but you know what? If you're telling me that I could just look maybe 2 slots ahead of him in the lineup and find a couple MVPs that I could feel I could shoulder the load a little, I'd be okay with that. If you were to tell me that, if that was a thing for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is concerning because that's it's your everyday shortstop who's going to have to work an entire season. I mean, Mookie, fast twitch guy, but he's going to have to work really hard to get that weight back on, let alone sustain it. Like that's something that you can't just ignore.
Yeah.
What do you got, Jay?
I just feel like I'm genuinely I hope Mookie is okay. Obviously, I'm concerned in that way, but from a Dodgers wins and losses standpoint or championship viability, I'm very much in a wake me up on September 23rd and let me see what their roster looks like health wise then, because we just went through this and it was all what do they look like when it really matters? And that's really all that ended up mattering. And they still weren't fully healthy. So I know I'm not picking them to win the World Series because I'm trying to be a little different and cute or whatever. But if your life was on the line, I think we'd all pick the Dodgers to probably win the World Series because they can miss Mookie Betts. And it's just okay, but it's April. Well, so it's we'll just, is he going to be back? Is he going to be back? Okay. Okay. Well then
what makes the Dodgers so tough, and this is how baseball works, and this is why they're always going to be in that conversation, especially with their roster constructed the way it is right now, is they are undoubtedly built to win in the regular season. And so when you then shorten that season to a championship season, and it's really about productivity from a select group of guys, their crop of players that they will be leaning on heavily are just across the board better for the most part than their counterparts in those moments. There's some matchups that you could sort of cancel each other out that are a wash, but when we start talking about the depth, that's where the Dodgers reign supreme.
Yeah, that would be boring. That'd be boring. But I appreciate greatness. I will say that. If they win fucking 3-4 in a row, and it's okay, that's something we haven't seen at least in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want that to happen. I like parity in the sport. I think baseball is one of the best in terms of that. So yeah, let's keep the parody going. Let's get the Sox. Sox are overdue. This is you guys don't get it. This is the longest that we've had to wait for a World Series title since before 2004. It's true. We waited 86 years. Then it was 04 to 07. It was 07 to 13, 13 to 18. Like we're already on our longest drought since winning in 04. It's time. It's time, Jake. We need to get back to our winning ways. Oh, there's the dog screaming. He's like, I fucking agree, Dad. Tell him, Dad. My son has never seen the Red Sox win a World Series. It's for him. This isn't even for me. This isn't even for me. It'd be my 5th, but it's his 1st. That's why the Red Sox need to win it. Win it for my son.
The children of Boston have been starving long enough. It's time now that the dogs eat, right?
You don't even know a home ballpark, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we do. Sutter Health. Heard of it?
No.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't. Wow. Okay. What a predictions pod.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was big time.
Yeah. I nailed every one of them. When I go back and look.
Nailed a lot of them. You and I lined up on a lot of them. Those will be right.
Hello. I lined up on some too.
Yeah, I know you'll be right too on a few of them that you lined up with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We are a quad box of socks here. Remember that.
That's right.
This is a very Sox friendly pod. Wow.
We should
usually see that. Usually a lot of hatred being spewed.
Do you do one
now?
Well, Jake and I have been doing a Sox pod for a while now. You check it out. We'll have you on.
Oh, I'd love to come on.
If you're into that.
Yeah, I got some opinions on the team.
All right.
The local 9, as they say. Just as a reminder, I'm not leaving Baseball's Dead.
No, I did see that comment from that person, though.
Very mean.
Yeah, I think they might be onto something.
Once you out of
Someone did defend me and say, he barely says anything on the show. He kind of just sits back and lets Dallas and Jay talk. Is Reddit.
Is that where this is going down?
No, Reddit. The discourse would never.
No.
I think
the discourse would never. No.
If people are complaining in Discord, it gets washed out by all the other comments, and I don't see it. Which is the way I like it.
Yeah.
Keep praising me. That's
wow.
Saddam Havens, baby.
Yeah, Saddam Havens. Fucking Saddam.
Yeah.
His fucking gold-plated keyboard and mouse instead of the gold-plated AKs.
That's right. Funded by Discord.
Yeah. Gold-plated keyboard. Yep.
Well,
all right. Anything else?
We're here, boys.
You guys burning on? No. Yeah.
No. I'm just very, very, very. I think this is going to be a great year. I think it's going to be a very intriguing year. I think there's going to be some teams that shock the shit out of themselves, that shock the shit out of people, whether or not they're there at the very end of the race or not. I think you can be optimistic about it, but I think that this will be a season for growth for a lot of players, a lot of clubs, a lot of teams that people are excited to see. Like, you know what? We got a piece here. We got a piece there. I feel like this group has grown a little, maybe some early arrivals. I know there's a lot of excitement out surrounding the Motor City Kitties. That's a team that I think we're all going to kind of keep an eye on. I just think it's going to be a really fun, intriguing baseball season.
I couldn't agree more. I'm very excited for baseball to be back. Very excited to be sitting out there watching 9 games at the same time on just a random Tuesday night, random Friday night, firing up all the screens, doing the live streams, all the video content that's going to come out of the season, all the podcasts that are going to be on time. We're sorry. The fuck?
Put discourse in the kennel, Jared.
Can you hear the dog going nuts right now?
No, huh?
He's going ham right now. He's hating it.
No.
All right, but we'll be back. When are we back, Jake?
Should be next Monday.
All right, we're back next Monday. Again, live stream on opening day starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern, live from St. Louis, Missouri. Very excited for that. Come see us at the pitch. The pitch.
The pitch.
The pitch. We'll be at the pitch. 4 p.m. opening day, watching the games, live streaming, having a good time. Come see us. And we'll be back next week with our first pod of the season. Jay, hey, any final thoughts?
I'm very ready to dig into the Nugs this season. And I'll have a exciting Baines meter update for the people later this week as well.
Yeah, nice. Love that. Right back where we left off. Dallas, any final thoughts?
Yeah, this is not this is by no means an advertisement at all. Jared and Jay both, you guys know that I have long been a supporter of folks in our world, meaning the baseball world, the baseball community, who try to do honest work, try to do the things that they believe in, the things that they think matter, that do matter. And I have had an experience where trying to find housing in Northern California, not that it's a secret at all, but I will be returning in the booth for the A's. So I was trying to find housing. Wife and I were looking at buying a house, had a really terrible experience, honestly, with the individual. And I tapped in the folks over at Clubby, who are in charge of finding housing, immediate housing for ball players, executives, whatever, the month to month stuff, that lease kind of, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal to deal with. And with like 4 days left to get housing, tapped them in. They've already got us dialed in. Lease is taken care of, signed, sealed, delivered. So like I said, this is not an ad at all. This is me and my personal experience that I had just wrapped up today, literally driving from Arizona back here. So, and I can say without a doubt, without them helping me out, I would be in a very different situation as we sit right now, fucking 12 hours from before I'm going to get in my car and drive to Sacramento. So shout out the boys at Clubby. Shout out Jordan.
Also, this is not an ad either. We actually have like a competing sponsor. But I think if you have T-Mobile, if you sign up for MLB TV and you have T-Mobile, I think you get MLB TV for free. So if you want to watch the games. Yeah.
Shout out to MLB for trying to figure out how to get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's me just saying, hey, I'm just looking out for you. Just looking out for you. Free MLB TV subscription for 1 season. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I guess if you have T-Mobile. I don't, but anyways, Jake's takes.
Let's go play some fucking baseball, fellas.
Yeah, let's go play some fucking baseball, Jake. I love that. I love it. All right. We'll see you guys in the live stream on Thursday.